everybody, and welcome back to another Nextlander Podcast. Here we are in November, and what a great month. I find November is one of the best months to try and fight entropy. What do you got? Alex Navarro, no entropy November. That's what entropy November.
I respect what you're saying there, but I mean, it's my birth month, so I'm constantly reminded about my slow march toward death and non-existence every single November. So,
but you celebrate the birth, the energy coming in and forming and revitalizing, not the slow.
Is that
leaking.
what I'm supposed to have been doing the last 44 years?
That's one take on it. Brad Shoemaker, how's your no entropy November going?
Going weird. Monday it was like 80 degrees here.
Yeah,
like into the evening, 80 degrees. Like it was one of those, you guys used to live here, it was one of those days where there's just no air stirring at all.
Ugh.
And nobody has even ceiling fans, let alone AC here. So when it's like that, you're just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Like sweltering all night. The very next day, yesterday, it was like so cold that I couldn't even have a window open.
Oh.
Like, what is going on, man? With the what's going on with everything?
Somebody's lost the thread. The code is wrong. Like it was not 80 degrees, but it was fairly warm here, and then the next day it was snowing. It was it's and it was the weirdest snow. It was like
that
fake
flaky
snow.
kind of like almost like it's supposed to be raining, but it's not quite.
Did it age you rapidly when it touched your skin?
Yeah, so like all my stuff broke, and then this woman came out, and it just started raining, and I felt better.
Are we just in the beginning stages of the Death Stranding?
God, I hope so.
I don't know about the beginning stages.
Sounds like we might be in the late stages.
Have you been to a beach lately?
Oh, yeah. Me and 4,000 of my best friends.
Oh, fantastic. Well, great. Have I got a talk for you then? Okay, look.
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I know you're going to talk about Death Stranding. We're going to do a whole bunch of that in just a second, but there was one thing I wanted to just celebrate very briefly. Because, I mean, look, the wins, when they come these days, you got to kind of say, like, you got to accept them. You got to just be like, yes, this is a win. I'm happy about this.
I want a win. Give me a win.
I'm going to tell you my win. It's a very minor win, but it's one that made me happy.
I want a big win.
My analog 3D finally shipped.
Oh, yes, I saw this morning. I saw this morning that they're shipping finally.
Yeah. The oft-delayed Analog 3D appears to finally be in the hands of people who can ship them out.
I still don't get the name of that console because there's so many other 3D consoles they might also do at some point. This is the Nintendo 64.
Yes.
Analog console. Analog is that FPGA, like that very nice high-end FPGA replication console.
I've got their like GBA or whatever.
Right? The Analog Pocket is the big portable that everybody loves, but they've done systems for SNES, Genesis.
Yep.
Turbo Duo, like all kinds of stuff. Why didn't they just call this the Analog 64? Everybody would know what that was.
I feel like maybe they were trying to avoid any and all possibility that Nintendo's lawyers would notice what they are doing.
Maybe,
yeah. I kind of agree with that. Like, I feel like Nintendo, there might be some 64 in the video game thing that is trademarked in some weird way.
Just don't poke that bear in any way. I'm sure what they are doing has been cleared by some lawyer somewhere, but you don't want them getting mucked up in that. But yes, this is the thing that basically makes it so that you can run N64 games into modern displays with minimal fuss. And I assume we're probably doing a little bit of like upscaling or at least cleaning of the image compared to what you get on an N64.
Yeah, I'm looking at their site. I assume it'll have all kinds of stuff. Probably some, I don't know if it'll have like save states and stuff as well, but they typically do some features around this stuff. I mean,
it's
the big thing here.
It is pricey.
Yeah.
And I bought it specifically just so that I could have a very easy way to play N64 wrestling games on my modern displays. That's all it is.
You're the one to have this. You are an N64 wrrestling freak, and I love it.
And those are never coming to the Nintendo online service. So
I mean, the big thing here is this thing has been delayed over and over.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out last year originally, and then they targeted early this year, and then it slipped like 2 or 3 more times this year. For obvious reasons, various shipping problems into the United States and having things manufactured in China, perhaps.
I mean, I don't know that they've ever been the best at hitting their target dates, but yeah.
They did say they're eating the tariff costs on this one, so.
I'll have to check back in with you when you have it in hand and how your wrestling on your N64 wrestling goes.
I will probably play some other N64 games at some point, but let's be real, that's what I'm there for.
Just go find yourself one of those what do they call them? Are they flash carts? Is there a fun name for those flash ROM carts?
Yeah, just flash carts. Yeah.
Yeah, they still sell those for N64s.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
Billion and one. Well,
yep.
You can get all 10 N64 games on it.
Hey, there's at least 20.
Yeah. Actually, because I did that N64 stream last year sometime in the mist year, I think. I know it's only about 300, I think, worldwide.
Yeah, it's not very many.
It's not that many in all territories.
Yeah. There's some good ones. There's some good
Sure.
Yeah, there are some good games.
To me, it is a very top-heavy and bottom-heavy console. There isn't a lot of, like, middle okay stuff in there. It's either really great or kind of dog shit.
I rented a lot of, and look, N64 was when I was pushing into college, so it wasn't my like growing up console.
Yeah, I got mine when I was 16.
Yeah. So I was probably like, I think my little brother had one. I was looking at PlayStation stuff in the dorms, and then I came home and would watch, Ocarina and play it. Ocarina.
Yep. That was senior year of high school for me.
Yeah.
And I was in journalism class and our teacher did not give a fuck. And I brought that thing in and we played Mario Kart in journalism class in high school.
See, I don't even remember N64 Mario Kart. Like, I don't think that got played. I remember the Aki wrestling games. Those got rented a lot. Turok, Mario 64. Yeah, the Nintendo stuff, all the first party stuff.
Mario Kart is like the first 4-player like party game. Everybody's piling in to play a 4-player game in person kind of thing. Like that's the first big 4-player game I remember catching on.
Then you must not remember NES Play Action Football.
No.
Clearly.
You're right, I don't.
Or Super Spike V-Ball.
Yeah. Did not ever have one of those adapters, sadly.
Well, congratulations. You got a shipping notice?
It's hey, we are preparing your package now. It will ship out by the 18th.
Okay, great.
Which is my birthday, so just in time.
Wow, happy birthday to you. And so begins another tick in the entropy timeline.
Yep.
How long? I've had to fix so many broken things. The problem with having stuff is stuff breaks and all things break. And I've had to fix so many things over the last 2 weeks.
Just as long as you get enough likes on the thing, then somebody else might come along and repair it for you.
Wait, yes.
I promise I'm going to stop doing this.
Wow,
soon.
I wasn't ready for that one.
Promise soon I'm going to stop doing this.
Well, shall we transition?
I say luxuriate in it today, because this is your day, fellas.
I don't know if I'm ready for it, man.
In some respect, it's all our birthdays. So
I don't know if I'm ready to have this conversation.
More of your repatriation day?
I've been having this conversation in my head for the last 5 days in a row. 5? So Wednesday. I finished it Saturday morning.
Officially, Brad Shoemaker, you've seen credits. You have entered the end game, post credits game of Death Stranding 2.
You did the damn thing.
We're gonna talk about big spoilers, story spoilers for Death Stranding 2. We're gonna do it up at the top here. If you want to skip around and make your way over to the first break, after that we will be Death Stranding 2 free. But we will be talking about that in a couple of seconds here, and this is me dragging out your spoiler
This is your
warning.
chance to get off the train if you want to get off it.
If you want to, but this is going to be our big dump, big poopy about Death Stranding 2. Brad's gonna make a poopy in the Death Stranding 2 potty.
The dumping shall commence in 3, 2, 1, plop.
We have reclaimed 96 chiral crystals from my wastewater.
Great.
Yeah, turn it into Monster Energy.
Now you can do 1 millimeter of road. Well, so I saw credits a week or two ago. I thought at the end of that, I said to myself, well, first of all, that was extraordinary. Congratulations. You did not disappoint Kojima and company with the ending of this game, as bizarre and weird as it is. It was quite a spectacle. And then I thought, I can't wait to hear Brad talk about this and to talk about this with him on the podcast. So here we are. Last we left off, I think we left you with Sam was at the mercy of Higgs. Basically, he had been napalmed to death over and over again, resurrected, brought
Very
back.
touching scene.
Yes, the crew The team was scared Higgs off. What was the next big story? So I'm a little out of sequence in terms of what happens. Basically my brain kicks in where I would start coming in. My biggest plot point after that is around the DHV Magellan, and after you go back and you talk to the would-be president again.
So that's, I'm trying to think. Now I'm starting to mix it up in my head.
It's a lot. There's a lot that happens.
I think it is. That's at the Southern Observatory, which you link up in an effort to go link up Terminal Fort Knott, which is the last like story location to link up. And I think that's the very next thing you do. I think that's like once you've linked the observatory, they basically are like, hey, this is it. Terminal Fort Knott, it's your last destination. When you link this up, the continent will be connected, even though actually there's a couple other prepper locations that you will not have connected by then.
So you missed, you have a couple of blank spots?
Yes. I connected B-Pass.
I don't know what that is.
B-Pass, the plan B for A-Pass.
Oh, BPAS.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. There was nobody there when I went there. I didn't have any loot.
I read conflicting stuff that one and Mr. Impossible don't become available until after you beat the game, or maybe it's in that very last. Trying to think, I do not even know where to begin with the last 5 hours of this game. Like we could be here for 3 hours.
Okay.
We won't be, but there's so much going on that I just don't even know where to start.
I'll tell you what I'm going to try to do, and Brad, help me out here, and let's try to do this because we could be here for all month if we really wanted to, but let's create a framework for Alex and the people who necessarily didn't see this play out, and we'll fill in the details along the scaffolding, right? So so at some point, maybe this is a good place to start. At some point, the DHV Magellan, and we shall use its proper name, the DHV Magellan, wants to get itself a giant anime gun, right?
That thing turns into Metal Gear. That thing turns into a Metal Gear slowly over the course of the game.
Once it's Yamato cannon, once it's like giant mega cannon. So you're getting parts for that. And basically it can start doing like artillery strikes on the map and all this other stuff on the map for you. So you're running around doing things. And this all culminates in basically, this is kind of putting some of the story stuff aside, but basically you have to do this suicide run, this mad run to go get Terminal Fort Knott online, which winds up being, I think I mentioned this to you in regard to what my son was like, what are you doing? And I had like a full on hover sled behind me, just stacked with crates of ammo that I was pulling and holding a giant chain gun with Sam's full backpack. And I was like, they said bring a lot of guns, so I brought all the shotguns and everything I have.
Got a thing about that mission, and I don't know if I want to get into it now or after we get through all the story stuff. But my only complaint about this game is I think the end game is the pacing is a little rushed, getting you to the end of the game. This is like my only knock against. I'm just going to say this. I have not quite tested the courage of my convictions on this statement.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the best game that Kojima has made.
Wow.
Story-wise or everything? Like
holistically, or at least I would say holistically, I think it is the most consistently good across every domain game that he has made.
Okay.
Where you might say
gameplay
like
is not necessarily the strongest for me.
Oh, I loved it so much.
I love it. Yeah.
The only thing I could complain about there is that I do kind of identify with the complaint that this game is maybe a little too easy.
Mm-hmm.
Too easy.
I've gone back and played a surprising amount. I mean, not a ton. Like I'm talking like 45 minutes or an hour of Death Stranding 1 since then. And like, I never really used ladders and climbing gear. I rarely ever had to engage with difficult parts of the game.
Like once you got the vehicles, once you got a truck or something.
I spent 90% of this game in the truck.
Yeah.
Like you never run out of battery. You almost never, like with the exception of like maybe saving the adventurer a couple times.
A couple of times in the mountains. I feel like it's like the peaks of the mountains are tough.
But even there, you get the snow tires, you get other stuff. I mean, there's even higher level upgrades I did not get that apparently just make it completely trivial. To get around up there. Like it is definitely there's definitely like a whole part of the game that you don't have to engage with unless you force yourself to, unless you just say like, hey, I'm not going to use the vehicles. I'm going to make myself do these deliveries on foot, and then it gets hard. Like I do kind of wish it forced a little more of the survival stuff, but like that's still a pretty small knock considering how much fun I had playing this game and how much I think the story hits.
I found some of it just tedious. I found some of the, this is a problem I had with Death Stranding 1, the immersion in the world sometimes made things feel tedious, right? Like the animations, the kind of loading in, skipping 5 animations to get in a place. And
this game's way better about that. I mean, it's
definitely
there's still 3-4 seconds of overhead every single time you get in and out of the truck, for example. But.
Yeah, or like load it, like bring in a shipment or do whatever. And again, it's a very well realized world they're trying, so I understand they want these animations, but I found some of that a little tedious. Some of the things we've talked about throughout the course of this of, well, why can't I just transfer stuff from this facility to the Magellan without me having to cart 8,000 pounds of metal there? So
that's exactly why I have finished the game now. Like I think if it was not, if like the pacing was not quite so compressed at the end, I would have finished it like next week. I'm not saying it would have been another month.
Yeah. But
it probably would have been like maybe one extra week in terms of this podcast. Because the whole reason I went and linked up Terminal Fort Knott was to get that last monorail destination.
Oh,
so
and then
that I could finish. So I could finish building all the roads down there. Because that's the thing, they just don't give you a lot of time to, and maybe this is on purpose. They don't give you a lot of time to really dink around in that southern tip of the continent after everything is connected. In fact, they give you zero time.
They really just propel you.
Right, because Terminal Fort Knott is the last monorail destination. So if you want your whole like resource, mine material pipeline up and running, when you go link that up to get that monorail destination, all of a sudden everything is going to shit. And it would feel insane to be like, okay, Higgs kidnapped tomorrow and took her to the beach and is about to end all life on Earth.
I gotta go do a road.
Hang on, I need another dozen hours to go finish building out these roads. Never mind that like they also destroy that bridge going to and from Terminal Fort Knott, so you can't even if you do ship materials down there on the monorail, you still can't easily. I guess you could build you can't build a bridge. I tried.
Oh, I didn't even try that.
The giant suspension bridge that goes to that base, like it's just destroyed in the water after that giant boss fight. And so even if I did ship materials down there, there's no easy way to drive them in and out of that base. Like
the Magellan's locked up.
Right. They disable not only the Magellan fast travel, but also the beach jumps. Like 1,000,000% as soon as you link up that last big location are railroading you into finishing that game. So I was just like, I'm just going to go do this.
So
man.
What'd you think about that kind of big, Higgs winds up kidnapping tomorrow, and that's where you find out about Dead Man, right?
Yeah, that's after a bunch of stuff. Should we just go in order?
Yeah, try if you remember better, please.
That mission to link up Terminal Fort Knott is like maybe the best moment I had in this entire game.
It's pretty ridiculous, but you're like leading into that. Before we just get into the nuts and bolts, just kind of segueing into what you said about engaging with what the game is giving you, tools and mechanics and stuff. You've got so many weapons and so many things you can bring. Dog mines, like luggage you can throw that turns into rockets. All this stuff that is just probably like if you're like me, you probably just have a couple of them sitting in the Magellan somewhere that you're like, okay, I've never used these. It's time to chiral cannons. Like you're just like, all right, let's just bring all of it. What are we doing?
So that mission, they set it up. They do the like, hey, this is going to be a long one, Sam. You better get ready. They do the fourth wall breaking, like, hey, big cutscene coming type shit. I took a cue from you because the setup for that mission is like, hey, Higgs did whatever. We can't connect it directly. We got to deploy these chiral network extenders along the way before we can. And it's going to be a hard one. Like they're bringing out all the stops. It's all the
ghost mechs are out there.
Every ghost mech is here. It's going to be a hard one. You better get ready. So I took a cue from you, and I was like, I'm just going to go like make one of everything and put it in this truck. And so I had like everything you just rattled off and more loaded up in my truck.
Yeah.
And you roll out the front door of the Magellan, and it's like the world is ending. Like it's they really go all out to make it look straight up apocalyptic. It's like. It's all dark. The skyline is all on fire. Like they've got the really dramatic, like I think it's the story of Rainy music. With the young girl choir chanting in the background. Like it's extremely dramatic.
Tomorrow's like mowing people down on chain guns.
It's like super fucking dramatic. What's going on? And it's hard. Like it's the most ghost mechs you've ever fought, and it's also kind of I think new ones you haven't seen that have like rocket launchers. It's a bunch of those heavy guys, the like kind of dog mechs that have like shoulder mounted rocket launchers.
They take a lot of hits.
Like that.
You can artillery strike those big groups.
I did some of that stuff. I mean, it's all extremely exciting and dramatic and everything.
Yeah.
And so like I got into that first big fight and was like, oh my God, this is way harder than I thought. They straight up blow you out of your truck if you get hit with a rocket. Like this is what happened.
Yeah.
And I got blown out of the truck and I'm running around fighting all these guys and Tomorrow's doing shit. And I called in an artillery strike and everything. And then I was like, I need to go get a thing out of the truck. And I spun the camera around. And you remember our conversation last week about how you were just like jumping around and like, you'd fabricate a new truck here and there just to get places and stuff. Do you remember how I mentioned I had been going out of my way, like not intentionally, but it turned out that I had never made a new truck.
Oh yeah.
I had just been like stashing
somehow
cargo
managed
and just like bringing the truck with me.
Oh, the truck died.
I spun the camera around and my truck was gone.
Oh,
it was just a giant
on the ground.
It was just a giant pile of my cargo. Lying on the ground, and I was like,
truck.
They blew up my truck. Like I got overwhelmed in that moment. Like everything was so over the top that was happening on the screen. And I thought back, I literally passed 100 hours at this point.
It's like your companion cube.
And it seriously hit me for just a minute there. Like I almost had to put the controller down of just like, dude, they blew up my truck.
Did you keep going?
It was the truck that I had the entire game. And my first instinct was like, fuck this. I'm going to reload.
Yeah.
Because I want my truck. And then I was like, wait, no, that's not the choice.
Truck would want this.
I've got to move forward.
Did you have a carrier?
I went and loaded as much of that cargo up on my back as I could and just kept trudging down the hill.
Yeah.
And there at the bottom of the hill was somebody else's truck.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I put all my cargo in that other person's truck and just kept going. And it was like I swear to God, like, okay, I know somebody out there is going to roll their eyes at this. And to that person, I say, get the fuck over it. Like, in this like very dramatic moment in the game, I was doing through gameplay the very same thing that the protagonist of the game is being asked to do in narrative terms, which is to cope with loss and move forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just like, fuck, dude, video games.
I also lost my truck. It was not as sentimental though.
Yeah.
I had that truck served me well. I had many trucks. This was not my only truck.
It might have been the single best moment of like visuals and music and like aesthetic presentation and gameplay mechanics and story and like writing and themes and everything all working in concert together. Like that might be the best one of those I've ever had in a game.
Well, there definitely is something like, so I had lost my truck. That's how I wound up with the floating carrier full of armaments behind me, because I had lost my truck. So I popped the carrier, loaded everything onto that. But there's definitely something about the forces are overwhelming, but you are loaded for bear. Like you can like take on things. So it's kind of fun.
The mission.
You have so much crap you can do.
And every one of those big ghost mechs that you kill drops that giant fuck off machine gun that just mows everything down. So like I was certainly able to finish the mission without the truck, but it just hurt to do it.
But it's very cinematic and it works well. And especially the last march up to the boss on the bridge, the narrow bridge where you're just like, if you're loaded up, you've got a gun.
Yep. I mean, that giant tentacle mech.
Yeah, I mean, the fight itself isn't necessarily that fun, but it's hit weak spots and do whatever. It's fine. But the scene composing, I think, is
like
fun.
Everything in this, it's all about how they present it.
Yeah.
You get down there, you connect it up, you get that big scene with Higgs and Fragile in the hangar there, where the Magellan just surfaces in the middle of the fight and cuts him in half, and then she beats him to death with his own guitar.
Yes.
On that whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Robot Higgs.
Which is good. Boy, Kojima loves having Leia Seydoux smoke cigarettes in this game.
Yeah.
And like, I don't necessarily disagree with him.
I hate to say this because like, don't smoke, it's bad for you, but like every time he does it, it's cool as fuck. Like specifically like the clever things, surrealist things they come up with for her to do with cigarettes, like it's kind of, go ahead.
I was say, this is not me coming out here and saying smoking is actually cool, but the thing you have to accept as a person who sees smoking in media all the time is that smoking will always look cool.
Yeah, it does.
That's all there is to it.
Or extremely dirty and grimy. Like there's two. There's two. Like the person who is like like disheveled and living in like a out of an ashtray.
I don't know. I think even they still seem cooler than they might if they weren't smoking. Now, if they're doing chaw, that's a totally different thing. That's just disgusting.
Even self-destructiveness can be cool.
Yeah.
It gets to something that really works for Kojima's brand of surrealism for me more so than like some filmmakers, is because he's working in a completely artificial world to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
CG is a thing. You can do all kinds of weird stuff with film, with footage of real people.
Right.
But because this thing is all entirely synthetic, he can just get so much crazier with the stuff they do. So like, you've got her just like conjuring cigarettes with her fingers out of thin air and then like lighting it off of the embers that are coming off of Higgs' body that she just immolated, like there's just endless examples of stuff like that throughout this game that would be doable, but harder to pull off with live action. That I think is like, this game is just nothing but like sheer creativity constantly in a way that works incredibly well.
And the CG fights they do, I think, are fun. The all the stuff with Tomorrow teleporting around and fighting, even the stuff with Fragile, is cool. The guitar is so dumb. It's such a dumb thing.
We got to get back to the guitar.
Mm-hmm. And then you get the guitar.
Well, yes, they give you his guitar as a weapon to use.
Yeah, which in the real world uses your chiral stash, but it's worth it.
Well, toward the end, they're just like, you know what? Now there's chiral crystals in the air everywhere. It's got unlimited ammo. Just go nuts.
Play guitar.
That all leads into the big A-Pass reveal, though. Like this is
the end game. Yes,
that is when you're really in it, and that happened before the Watchcast. I was playing it last Thursday morning, and we had to delay the Watchcast for like 30 minutes because I think that's literally the one where Dollman is like, "Hey, are you sure you're ready for this?
Yeah,
this is going to be a long cutscene."
Buckle. I think it's a whole chapter of cutscenes.
Yeah, and I was like, how long could it be? Really?
Well,
and it was like an hour. And I thought that was the end of I thought I had beaten the game. I was like, oh, this is it, right? That big fight on the bridge was the boss fight. Like, I'm done.
Oh, no.
And it's like an hour of cutscenes.
You need to go to Mexico.
I had to stop. Yeah, I had to stop because we had to record, but it turned out to be like another 3 hours of game after that.
So you wind up having to go to Mexico because you need because Higgs has tomorrow.
There's reasons, but like we have to talk about the A-Pass reveal.
Well, is that before or after you go to Mexico?
No, that's before.
Oh, that is before. Okay, so the crabs coming out of the guy's mouth.
Crabs coming out of the president's mouth. The president turning into Armin Shimmerman for about 3 minutes.
You remember me?
Like, okay.
So, okay, Brad, tell Alex why A-Pass.
Please tell me.
I really like all the A-Pass stuff. I thought it worked extremely well in context. Like, I did immediately get like a very strong, though, like MGS2 kind of remix or greatest hits vibe from it, because it is very much similar to what he's doing at the end of MGS2 with all the like emergent consciousness trying to like engage in social engineering type stuff. But do you remember the beginning A-Pass stuff? A-Pass is like the algorithm that runs the government now.
Yeah, I remember all that stuff.
And like APAC is the private company that's been contracted to use A-Pass to run the country or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to condense this a little bit. A-Pass 4000 turns out to be, the void out that killed... Was this in the first game? Like, Sam survives a void out, right? Like, that's a whole thing, right?
There's a void out at the beginning of Death Stranding 1, yeah.
So I guess it's that void out, right? Like, that's the one they're talking about, isn't it?
There might have been others in the canon.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not talking about the one that you see at the beginning of Death Stranding.
Okay.
This is a different one. This is the void out that like his wife was killed in, etc.
I hadn't remembered this, but I maybe just This
is a weird one because I didn't finish Death Stranding 1. Like I went back and looked. I played like 40 hours of it, but I did not see the ending of it. So I don't know how much of this stuff is new for Death Stranding 2. But
I would say
I think a lot of it is.
It seemed a lot of it, yeah.
The first one is not really that concerned with like Sam's history as much.
Okay, because this game full on, like, you meet his wife, like you see his wife a ton in flashbacks, and she had an affair and a whole thing. There's a whole subplot there. That's the Mads Mikkelsen component of this game.
Right.
Is the like Neil Vanna is the Cliff Unger was the Mads Mikkelsen character, right?
Yeah.
In fact, sorry, stop me if I'm going whatever, I guess we're here to do this. I'll just do it.
Let's do it.
I've played enough Death Stranding 1 since last week to realize how formulaic 2 is in terms of slotting into the exact same beats that they used for 1.
Yeah.
Where like there were 3 cliffhanger sequences from the first game, the World War I flashback action stuff. There are 3 Neil Vanna sequences in this one. They do the exact same thing of you get the little snippets of memory flashbacks every time you do a story beat. Always when you're coming up on the elevator, plugging the BB pod back in.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize how much this game just plugs into the exact same template that they had in the first game. But I like the stuff better in this one that they do with that from what I saw of it.
Does it make sense why he gets those flashbacks when he plugs into the BB pod?
Like Dollman says something about like, oh, you're getting like flashbacks of the BB's memory.
But there's no BB in there.
But yes, in this case, I don't know what the fuck.
Well,
okay.
Well, remember in the first game, the flashbacks he thought were the BB's flashbacks were actually his own.
Right. Okay.
Because he was himself a bridge baby at one time and became, an adult. So basically, Mads Mikkelsen, I think, if I'm remembering the lineage correctly, is actually Sam's dad.
Yes, that's correct.
And then Sam is a repatriate, and then he's got a wife who winds up getting. This is all before this stuff. This is the end of the
first one.
This is the end. No, the end of the Neil Vanna stuff.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
You get all this. It's like he's a repatriate. His wife gets pregnant.
Also, I've been doing a fair amount of reading about 1. Apparently, Amelie made Sam a repatriate. Like he died as a baby, and she like took pity on him and made him a repatriate and sent him back, and that's what unbalanced life and death and caused the Death Stranding in the first place.
Is that really what happened?
That's what the wiki says.
I remember some of that. I'm going to be honest. A lot of that shit at the end they reveal is kind of a blur. The only thing that really stood out to me was kind of the last bit where you take the corpse. You're supposed to be taking the BB to be destroyed, and then you don't, and all of that. Like a lot of what they reveal at the end with like the Unger stuff and the stuff with Higgs and everything. That shit is just kind of a weird mishmash in my brain.
Yeah. Is Amelie ever a villain in the first game? Like
she's weird.
I've never been clear if she was like explicitly an antagonist or not.
So there's Amelie, and then there's the president. Your mom is supposed to be dead, and it's not revealed until later that Amelie,
Bridget Strand is dead.
Yeah, Amelie, the Ha and the Ka, right?
Amelie is her spirit, right? But that has now manifested as a separate person.
And I feel like, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, and the audience who have paid attention know much more than this. But like, I think it is not clear what her relationship as a catalyst for the Death Stranding or a preventer of the Death Stranding is.
I don't think they get into extremely explicit detail about exactly
or at least
the nature
until
of
the
Amelie.
end.
Yeah, and even then, it's still a little muddy.
Like she's trying to prevent it, but there's also
I think she's an extinction entity, right?
She's an extinction entity, or thinks she is. Yes.
Yeah. Like the best I could discern, she like seals herself on the beach at the end of the first game to like keep
That's
herself.
kind of what I remember.
It's where you start learning about there have been like 5, extinction events or whatever, and like
I'm kind of. On some level, I wish I had finished that first game because there's. In retrospect,
I had forgotten about the extinction entity shit. That's the stuff that just totally left my brain.
Like in retrospect, there's quite a bit about the ending of this game that I did not pick up on.
Don't worry, I played the first time and didn't pick up on it. Yeah,
but having gone back and read a bunch of this stuff now, like I think I'm kind of glad maybe I didn't finish it because this game does not get into that level of exposition dump at all. Well, the past president does prattle for a good 20 minutes or whatever.
So yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go on
out. Yeah,
I brought all that stuff up because I wasn't sure how much like Lucy, Sam's wife, was a character in the first game. It sounds like not at all.
I don't even know.
I didn't even remember her.
I think the name may have been said, but they really don't get into it.
She's you remember the photo of like Sam and the president and his pregnant wife whose face is like scratched out?
Yeah.
Like that's her. You basically see that completed photo at the end of this game, basically. But okay. The void out where like Sam's wife and Neil Vanna, and I think Neil is the one who causes the void out, right? Is his corpse that causes it, I think.
Oh, that part is so weird.
That void out it kills 4,000 people and also destroys the data center that runs APAS. And so what APAS 4000 actually is and what the president in this game is the face of is the ghosts of not only those 4,000 people, but also the fucking data center.
The data center went to the beach with those 4,000 people.
Like the data center, like you were literally fighting the ghost of a data center in this game. That has
people.
Oh my God.
That has merged with the 4,000 people. That's why there are servers all over the beach.
That's what I was going to say. That's the shit they showed in literally the opening trailer of this game is the fucking data centers on the beach we should not have connected.
That's why the servers are on the beach, is because all those dead people and all those dead servers formed an entity in the afterlife that have decided that
they know the best way.
In order to protect humanity, they have to render humanity inert. Like if people basically, like, their idea is if people exist in the state between life and death and can't travel and contact each other anymore, there can't be any more void outs. There can't be a last stranding.
Yes.
Humanity will exist forever, safe, but with like zero agency.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Brad. The idea is they want to, if they connect everything, then the robots and the automated delivery can take over everything, and then humans can live underground, and they'll never be exposed to BTs, and they will live forever.
But they'll never have contact with other people anymore.
Never contact with other people.
Like, I think Sam literally says, like, so we're just going to be vegetables from now on, or something like that. I think,
or like evolution stops, and like the progression stops, and they're like, it's the only
zombies.
way.
Yeah. No.
Well, how can you stop them?
That moment, holy fucking shit, man. Hey, Alex, you know the mannequin thing that is Charlie that's giving you, at the beginning of the game when they let you pick the voices of that thing, you're like, hey, if this thing talked like somebody you know, maybe you'd trust it more. And then they don't let you actually pick anybody except Die Hard Man.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who Charlie turns out to be?
Die Hard Man.
It's not subtle, huh?
The secret identity of the thing voiced by Die Hard Man just turned out to be Die Hard Man.
Okay, but you're selling it a little short.
No, I know. I'm getting to that. I mean,
I knew he was coming back. They were setting up way too much at the beginning with his whole thing to not bring him back.
They reintroduced him into the storyline with a song and dance number that is one of the most glorious moments I have ever seen in a video game.
For no reason, in the most maybe Kojima off the rails manner, because it's not like there's a setup for the song and dance.
He wanted to do it.
It's like
it just comes in.
He played Alan Wake, and he's like, "We need a musical number."
Yeah.
Like, are we going to do the Death Stranding stream on Friday? Because if we are, we don't have to go into like extreme detail here. If we're going to make Alex watch it, I'm not sure.
We should watch.
I do want to watch the musical number at least.
It's fucking incredible, dude.
It's really bananas, and he does a lot of like he does. It's a little like old. His character has a little of like the Fates or like old like Greek plays where he just kind of descends almost. He like talks to the audience a lot.
It's almost a Deus Ex Machina. It's, not quite.
He turns to the camera once in a while, right? Doesn't he say like, "I told you I was hard to kill" or something?
Oh yeah, we're getting to that.
Yeah. For
sure. Yes, in that moment that you're talking about, like they mute all the ambient sound and he's very much looking at the camera and talking to the player. It's pretty good, but
perfect.
But yeah, he has a song and dance number and is going to stand up to APAS.
Like Tommy Earl Jenkins, I looked it up, is not only is he like a working song and dance man, but he is a trained ballet dancer.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
So I think you can probably assume that he did all of that mocap and all of the singing, all the vocals in that number himself. It's so good.
So here's one of the silliest parts coming up, I think, and again, fill in all the gaps here, Brad, but like he basically says as APAS 4000 is like, hey, all the what is the thing you use to get things online? The the thing that Lochner made,
the Cupid?
Yeah, the Cupid you've been using has been basically bugged by APAS 4000. Like all these things you've been hooking up have been tying back into the servers. You're fucked. There's no way you're out of this. And Die Hard Man basically comes out and is like, nah, actually, this whole time.
Actually, I've had a secret Cupid this whole time that can just cut off your connection to everything.
No! Hit the button. And it's weird. Okay, this was confusing because Lochna's not really in the game.
No.
And like Mama's not really in the game, but she shows up in the big circle.
Like Margaret Qualley's face is in the game a fair amount, but she has like one line at the beginning if you try to pick her as Charlie's voice. They did get like one line out of her for that, but yeah, she's barely in the game.
But when they try to go to the beach and stuff, she's in the summoning circle.
Yes.
Along with some other people, I think it's just a metaphor for the friends we made along the way.
I mean, should we mention the I don't want to just sit here and exhaustively recount every cool thing if we're going to watch it, but the DHV stuff.
I think that part's really silly and dumb and fun.
Like that is that the equivalent of the "you thought I was hard to think I'm hard to kill" thing or whatever? Is that
Alex, DHV Magellan? Do you remember what it stands for?
The DHV part?
Yeah.
It's like
the deep hunting
it's
vessel.
like a deep tar hunting vessel.
Yeah.
They go out of their way to never not say DHV Magellan every single time in this
Magellan.
game.
Hey, we can use the DHV Magellan. Yes.
Yeah.
Cue Die Hard Man turning to camera and like all the audio goes quiet. He says,
Oh no.
You might have guessed already. DHV Magellan, Die Hard Man's vessel.
It's really
No,
good.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Because he's been hiding out on the ship the entire game.
in secret room.
In the shadow cabinet.
Oh, right, the shadow cabinet. Yes.
In what I like to call the shadow cabinet.
What does that mean?
Is it literally a cabinet?
Shadow cabinet is, I mean, I don't know a ton about parliamentary systems, but at least I know in like the UK.
Oh, I know what the term is.
Shadow cabinet, I believe, is like the opposition party who's not in power forms kind of an alternate cabinet to the ruling party.
Right.
Or the governing party, I should say. You know what I mean? I think it's like, my uneducated guess is that it's kind of like if there's a snap election and they take power, they've got a cabinet ready to go to take over, I guess. Anyway, it's just another stupid Kojima-ism of like.
No, it's great.
But he's been on the ship, right? Or at least didn't he have like a room on the ship?
Well, I don't think they go out of their way to say where it is or anything, but like it's just another stupid line.
So silly.
Another
his
overly
return is
thing.
so glorious.
Oh yeah, he's great. Somebody on our Discord, I went back, I also read like 4 months of discussion of this game on our Discord, and somebody said back in July, like, I think the way they put it was like Tommy Earl Jenkins understood better than anybody else in this game what kind of performance this game needed.
Yes. He comes out and he basically blows the lid off of all of the like weird. He takes it seriously enough with an air of this is all bullshit, which is fun because it goes some pretty deep and not deep. It could be interpreted as deep. Let's just say solemn places, right?
Sure,
it goes
extremely.
Yeah,
like you kind of dispense with all the APAS stuff, and then they send you back to Mexico, which I think No, we didn't talk about that last week. No, that was probably off mic. You were talking about it. Like
because Higgs now has tomorrow, and it's revealed that Lou is tomorrow.
No, that's not what they say. What they say is tomorrow is your daughter.
Tomorrow is your daughter.
Higgs shows up, kidnaps tomorrow because apparently she's also an extinction entity, and he wants to bring about the last Stranding. And he literally is just like, do you not fucking get it, you idiot? She's your daughter.
Yeah.
And then takes off. But they're still misdirecting you because they're like, well, like all Doom sufferers had to submit sperm samples, so that's technically possible.
Oh,
that she could
right.
Be your daughter.
They do say that. I think I think at that point I was just like, well, that is not the point where they talk about like, no, that's right. Fragile does that lore dump later.
It's the big reveal at the very, very end is how she came to be.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, that's when they send you back to Mexico. They're like, you've got to go back to your house. We can't jump to can't jump to Higgs's beach unless we have an object that connects you to blah blah Amelie.
Yes. So
you have to go back to your house and also fight that giant crab along the way. Yeah. I thought that whole sequence going back to Mexico is just fantastic. Like
it's pretty good. And I think I mentioned to you off air, but I think they do a good job of bringing you back to your roots without the ability to use the roads and whatever else without taking it all away from you, because Mexico winds up being this place where you didn't really build infrastructure too much. I mean, you can build some stuff, but so you get back to kind of the traversal
a bit more off-road a little bit, but they, like the rest of the game, they don't belabor it in a way that's hard or tedious. Like that's still pretty breezy and easy to get through. But like, I have to take a minute and just shout out this game's use of music.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is probably the best use of music I have seen in a game, and that's not to say it's the best music I have seen in a game, but it's more just the ways they deploy it.
It's pretty good.
Like that's where you get like I think they also, when you leave to drive back to Mexico, you have to drive across Australia to get to the plate gate and warp back. I'm pretty sure they lock the time of day at like the golden hour. Like they like you drive out the door and it's just like bathed in like golden sunshine, and that's where they drop like basically the theme song. Done by Woodkid. I went and looked up a bunch of the music from this game. Like a lot of the sort of needle drops of Kojima's Spotify playlist in this game I thought worked pretty well, even when I didn't like love all the songs.
Yeah, I didn't love all the songs, but you're right. The implementation is done well.
That one there, when you're just like cruising along the highways you've built back to the plate gate, and like the sun is setting around you and it's beautiful, and that song kicks in, which is very haunting. Like I just thought, like, man, they have thought this through incredibly well. And then you go through Mexico, and like all of Mexico is on the bottom of the ocean. You know, like you look up and like you see the surface of the water is the sky, like, and you see like the reflections on the, and there's a bunch of like water, like aquatic life, you know, corals and shit all over the place. Like the way they transform Mexico is incredibly atmospheric.
It's getting weird. Did you capture that, BT?
Yes.
Hell yeah, of course you did.
Yep.
First try?
No.
Okay, great.
I hesitate to admit this. I had regular EX grenades, not capture grenades.
Oh no!
And it took me like
reload?
2 fights to realize I was not using the right types of grenades.
Oh, bummer.
I was like, why the fuck isn't this thing capturing? And then I had to do it all over again. Anyway.
Yeah, I did it like 2 or 3 times too because I didn't capture. But I did in the end.
Yeah, that stretch driving back to Mexico, there is some really dark shit in there because Higgs is literally tweeting at you.
Yeah,
from your house in Sam's voice, taunting him about your dead baby.
Like moments with Lou, yeah.
Like it's one of the more like monstrous things I think I've ever seen a villain do in a game. Is like
did you like any posts?
Fuck no.
Yeah, no, don't give him that satisfaction.
Literally just taunting you over the child that he killed.
Yeah.
And then you
like
get your
first steps. Or,
yes. Like, oh look, Lou's taking her first steps. I can't wait to go on walks with like whatever.
Yeah.
Like the stuff at his house when you get there and he's like reliving a bunch of moments with the child, I thought was like really earnest and grounded for Kojima.
Yeah.
Like it was like surprisingly just like real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like it was pretty brutal, I thought. And then you go to the beach and there's an insane Gestalt BT fight where the Magellan becomes the head of a giant BT.
That part's pretty great.
And starts fucking shit up while you are having a straight up guitar battle with Higgs because Higgs shows up with a double neck guitar because you've taken his guitar.
Yeah, he's got a new guitar.
You've got his battle guitar by the time you get to Mexico, or I'm sorry, by the time you get to the beach. So of course he now has a better guitar.
I think that stuff is awesome.
It's so fucking good.
I think the mechanics of the fight are not great, but I think
but it's easy. Like it's like
it's easy.
That's the thing. It turns into a fighting game. You straight up there's straight up 2 health bars at the top.
At the very end, yeah.
I want to say they did that once in Death Stranding 1, and I can't remember
the fighting game thing.
There was some. I swear
in Metal Gear. I think there was a. I think when you fight.
I mean,
Revolver,
this is the end of MGS4 again.
Yeah.
There is there's a little bit of a greatest hits thing going on in this game of 2 shirtless dudes on top of a structure with like a sunset in the background or whatever, like
where you're just like they're exhausted and you're just slugging away at each other. Yeah,
kind of. Except in this case, it's about half slugging and half shredding.
Yeah,
because they are really going at it on the guitars. Like during that cutscene, I actually had the like Jimi Hendrix Star Spangled Banner in my head as he was wailing, and then he played it like 30 seconds later.
It's pretty dumb.
Then he busts out the lick from the Star Spangled Banner. It's
I think again I've said this a couple of times after we talked about this. I think Troy Baker is killing it.
He is just off the chain in this game. He's
like creepy and good.
I think people definitely seemed like they were getting some Troy Baker fatigue for a while there, but I think he really like proves why he is in everything in this game.
Yeah, totally. And again,
he is exceptional.
The character was just such a nothing in the first game and a real bummer and letdown in terms of like what that story was trying to deliver. And right from the jump, they just do so much more with him the second he walks into frame, and it feels like he just owns this game so much harder.
He is having so much. I mean, the actor is having so much fun in this game.
But
and they wrote more for him to do too, which I'm sure helps. But
do you remember? There's that slow zoom monologue that he gives right when you finally find him in the beach there, where he basically like I watched it again this morning. It's like 3 or 4 minutes long. If the camera doesn't cut, it's just a monologue.
What is he talking about?
Where he's talking about because there's the whole thing about how time flows differently on the beach.
Yeah,
and they locked him up in the beach at the end of the first game.
Oh, right, yeah, for eternity.
Basically, he talks about the loneliness of wandering for tens of thousands of years without seeing another person, and like.
Right. Eventually he gave up.
It's like, it's really touching for a guy who is like completely an unrepentant monster. Like it's a really effective scene at kind of making you feel some empathy for this complete piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the guitar battle happens.
Yeah. I had a little trouble with the with the mechanics of the guitar battle with the I don't think I ever quite got the blocking or
it's a bit messy.
It's a little weird, but like you said, it's not hard.
Yeah,
he just teleports around. You whack him a couple of times.
You just kind of mash your way through it.
But the real thing is a set piece of the giant fight happening behind you and the everything crashing on the beach and
that's what you're there for.
Yeah.
I don't think it's here. I think it's earlier. Again, I was rewatching a bunch of cutscenes this morning. There's a bit where Higgs is fucking with you. I think this is actually way earlier in the game, but Dollman, they treat it like they like cut away from Dollman before he even finishes saying this, but he's like, pathetic guitarist, where's the rest of your band?
Oh, I don't remember that.
That final fight is nothing but that. It is nothing but them taunting each other constantly while they're beating the shit out of each other. Like Sam is just like, fuck you and your band.
Yes.
Like it is.
And there's
just
a little like peekaboo part where he's like hiding behind the pillars and stuff.
Yeah. It's good
it's
stuff.
Cool. Like, it's cool. I think like Death Stranding 1, some of the set piece stuff works better than some of the actual mechanics of a fight. But that's video games oftentimes.
It's all brief enough and it's not frustrating. So I glossed over it, but I don't know. I thought I was kind of like over Kojima's brand of spectacle, but this all really worked extremely well for me.
So as he's getting closer and closer and closer, he basically submits tomorrow to the become the harbinger of the Death Stranding, and you're fighting him, and it gets closer and closer and closer. Brad, what happens?
A gigantic Lou is birthed from the sky and then eats Higgs.
That sounds about right.
That's what happens on screen.
Yeah.
What
is happening?
I don't know. I guess she just decided to resist being the extinction entity, and I don't know. I'm not sure of a deeper read than that.
Have you looked up stuff, or people just interpreting
I hadn't really looked at anybody trying to divine what exactly is going on there other than.
So basically Tomorrow/Lou defies Higgs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. The will eats Higgs.
He plays up. He plays a few bars of that song. It's another one of those things where I think the music is used super well in this game. Like there's a really frequent refrain back to that BB's theme. It's the let that yawn out.
Yeah.
There's no pretending.
That yawn.
Like Higgs plays that like 5 different times throughout the game in like different keys depending on what's going on. That's the song that Die Hard Man does with his like synth pop dance number is the same song.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Higgs plays it again to the giant baby Lou, and then Lou eats him. But like it's one of the, I love a good musical refrain, and I feel like they come back to that song at the right times in a really effective way. But I don't know. Like he plays the song for her and then she eats him. You tell me. She's just maybe finally exercising some agency.
I don't really know. At that point, I had kind of just given up all, like let's let it wash over you.
I absolutely have no fucking idea if there's like some lore reason that the last Stranding does not take place and that she turns into a giant baby.
I'm sure somebody could try and posit a theory that I'd be like, okay, sure. Or like what manifestation of tomorrow is that? Or like what tomorrow is, or like what that means for the connection between all of them, does that mean Higgs is annihilated? Like, is his being annihilated?
He seems to be dead. Also, I read an interview, like Kojima said he has no plans to make a 3. Like he said, if there's a Death Stranding 3, somebody else needs to make it.
Because the idea is if
he does have other games on the horizon.
Also, he's got 2 other games announced already, and he's in his 60s. But like, the point is, I think this seems to be the pretty definitive end of this story.
But
I don't know. You tell me. Like,
I don't know. I guess if he dies on that beach, then he's done so. Like,
I think that was his. I think that was always his physical body there. Like all the Higgses you were seeing throughout the game were just him kind of controlling ghost mechs.
And the way that he was doing it, again, people who are listening to this probably either don't care about the story or know more than we do. Maybe is but the APAS 4000 hooked up with Higgs, because they were working together. But then Higgs was like, I was using you all along.
Right.
Because the APAS 4000 didn't want the extinction event, but Higgs did. But that's how the Ghost Mechs were able to expand without the chiral network, right? With the APAS 4000.
Yes, I believe so.
And like work off the chiral network, outside of the chiral network.
I think so.
But he goes bye-bye, and then you're in the big elogue.
Yeah. That's when you finally get the giant, very long flashback of
Fragile?
Neil. No. Before that, you get like 20 minutes of Neil and Lucy in the past before the void out happened.
Oh, I thought that was just that was at the end of the Nirvana thing.
Lucy is having an affair with Neil.
Yes.
And she's pregnant, and he thinks it's his child, but it's actually Sam's. So they want the child because it's the child of a repatriate to experiment on.
Yes. The government.
And they like hatch the whole ruse of like, oh, you have to say it's your child so they don't take the baby. Like we have to get out of here. And then instead they die and there's a void out, and Sam survives that void out, and that's like the whole inciting incident.
Yes.
But and that segues right into the, like, I thought, again, having watched it again this morning, I think it works super well. That whole sequence of the void out and Neil dying straight into, like, Neil in the afterlife is the one that is kind of protecting Lou, who has been deposited there by Fragile. Because, spoilers, Lou didn't die.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Fragile. No, she didn't. She straight up
I know
did
she
not.
didn't die, but I'm just saying that, like, there's some fuckery there.
Well, like, Fragile's been dead the whole... It's straight up Final Fantasy X shit.
Yeah.
It just takes
Like-
a long time for the body to realize you're dead.
In fact, I read a pretty compelling argument that the whole thrust of this game is a Final Fantasy game, actually. Like,
Sure.
like
I can see it.
you are rallying your crew on your airship at the end of the game to head to an alternate dimension where the antagonist has, like, taken the powers of God and is trying to end humanity. Like, that's full on.
All right. Well, when you put it like that,
is literally the end of, like, Final Fantasy VI and any number of other Final Fantasies.
Yeah, but it's probably all the same source material.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so like, wait, so like Fragile, just to run this down one more time, Higgs came after Fragile to get Lou. Fragile tries to jump, can't jump Lou out of there.
Something like that.
But something like that. And then Fragile gets shot in the head.
On the beach? Or in
on
between?
Yes, as she's
in
jumping,
the in-between space,
in between the beach and the world of the living, I think, is where she gets shot. And, like...
So she deposits Lou in the world of the dead?
She, like, somehow safely leaves Lou in Nirvana or wherever that is in between life and death.
But she was shot in the head during a jump, which she's slowly dying.
Because of the flow of time, she has already died on the beach or in the afterlife or whatever, but in the real world, her body has not caught up to her death yet.
So whose hands are those on her neck?
I don't know.
Are those her hands?
I don't know. Who knows, man?
Okay.
there probably is an answer to that question.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it for you.
Okay. Are they her, like, Ha or
Sure,
Ka's hands?
sure.
Okay.
Anyway,
but
it
was sad when she died.
Yes, I thought it was a pretty touching reveal when you find out she's dead.
Yeah.
But in the course of finding out she's dead, you also find out that she left Lou there instead of Lou being actually dead. And again, so I think that sequence of they actually transition really smoothly from Neil causing the void out to his spirit entering the afterlife. And, like, the way it's depicted, it seems like in his perception, he went straight from dying to finding baby Lou in the afterlife. And I think is actually, like, kind of a sweet depiction of it, that he was trying to help Lucy protect Lou in the real world. And then when he died, he just went straight back to doing that exact same thing. And
forever.
And that's when he
forever war
takes on the Solid Snake persona and is protecting her in the afterlife until she can be delivered back to Sam. Like, I thought it works. It works really well, I think, in context.
Lucy, Louise.
Or Louise, yes. I mean, literally the last lines of the game are, "I'm your Louise."
Yeah.
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 Like, that's their last interaction.
And
then except flash forward to, like, epilogue scene of now tomorrow is a porter.
Yeah.
And
doing the business.
And appears to be making deliveries.
It's the family business.
She's taking on the business. That's the next Death Stranding game. Run as Lou. Is Lou a repatriate?
I don't know.
Tamara Lou?
She's got something going on.
I don't know.
Yeah, so that reveal is weird, but
Wild.
okay. Yeah. I don't think I saw that one coming.
Which part? Just everything we just talked about?
Tomorrow is Lou.
Oh, yeah.
Until I think I saw it before the Fragile thing, like when they're like, but like, it was sad when Fragile leaves, the scene. She's a good character.
Yeah. Yes.
It's kind of her game. Like, she's kind of the main character. Like, Sam's kind of just a cipher. He's just like,
he's a guy.
Yeah. And like, it's really Fragile's story. I think most of this, maybe a little bit of Higgs's story too, but she winds up pushing a lot of the narrative forward. So it's pretty sad when she doesn't make it towards the end.
For sure.
But then they also have their, well, actually, I don't think, what's his face ever does he make peace with his son? The DHV driver? What's his name?
Tarman, no.
Yeah. That feels like a thread that didn't wrap up.
I really thought he was going to get his hand back.
Yeah, like
by
find
the
it
end of the game.
Or like is the cat
Give him a
his
ghost
son?
hand or something.
Well, he has a tar hand because his real hand is out there on riding the tar currents.
That's right.
That's how he's able to navigate them.
Is the cat supposed to be his son?
I don't know, actually.
My cat is my son.
Okay.
I did not go back and rewatch that cutscene where he loses his son. I'm not sure if that... I think they actually do raise that possibility, don't they? Don't they very strongly hint that might be the case?
There's a lot of weird stuff going on in that game.
His son is there in that circle at the end.
Yeah, in the end. So, and then there's a whole dead man part where like I should go and find an explanation exactly. The way that dead man inhabits Heartman.
Yeah, there's that whole thing, and then there are a few things they don't really pay off or wrap up. Like there's the dead man was the giant baby samurai the whole time.
Yeah.
But they kind of just like it revealed that and then let it go and then never really.
Dead man's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, he really is.
Gets around.
I mean, Kojima loves Del Toro.
Dead man is really a red herring for a lot of things because he's the red herring with Heartman sneaking out. He's the red herring with the samurai. I think he winds up doing the whole Gestalt thing at the end, right?
Yes, he does. Apparently, I looked it up. Apparently, that's how Norman Reedus got involved in this whole thing.
Oh, really?
Is that Del Toro is friends with Reedus and also Kojima, and basically told Norman Reedus, I was watching an interview with him, literally, Del Toro said, a guy named Kojima is going to call you, and whatever he says, just say yes.
Great.
And apparently that's how Norman Reedus got involved in this stuff.
So he got roped up into this nonsense.
He acted as a bridge.
Oh, wow. Should have never connected. So they show this part with tomorrow Lucy Lou with Lou being a porter, and then it rewinds back to Sam, right? Like then you could just go back and
that's when they open up the post game, just like, hey, go do whatever. Like I think the perpetual mission objective now is just do as you please.
Yeah, do as you please, right? Yeah, exactly.
And they give you the option to turn that God Cupid on and off to like disable enemy encounters and stuff,
or like minimize them, right? Like Did you keep it on?
Yeah, I haven't turned it back off yet. I've just because the first thing I did is then go and complete all those roads.
Yeah.
So I have an entire network of level 2 roads now.
Wow.
But it like I'm almost certainly still going to platinum this game because I really, really like this game, but I wish they gave you a little more room to do that side stuff before you finish the game. Because every time I see credits in a game like this, like it does take some of the wind out of my sails to play any more of it.
Yeah, I did a little of tooling around. I think I finished up a road or two, and then I haven't touched it since. But again, I was also like, I'll probably platinum it. I want to go see who's left over here.
Yeah. And so
but I haven't picked it up since.
I started using the playlist thing. I used the in-game music player and was just like, I'll just make a big playlist here and just treat this game fully as a trekking simulator instead of mostly as a trekking simulator like I've been doing. And just went and finished all those roads, and it was pretty pleasant. But like it's definitely going to take some work to 5-star everything. And I'm not going to. Part of me thought it would be really funny to come in here for this recording and be like, yeah, not only did I finish it, I platinumed it, but then I.
Did you look at the list?
You saw reason.
Okay. It's all easy except for that 5-starring everything. Like that's the thing that's going to take the work.
It's just time consuming.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of taking on orders and going back and forth. So
you got the infrastructure. So.
Yep. My first priority is to go max out the Eastern Observatory in the mountains.
Okay.
Because you get the level 3 stabilizer. Did you guys ever use the stabilizer in the first game?
I didn't use it in this game.
I never got the level 3 one in this, and I never even equipped the others, but it's the thing that lets you like fall or jump off a cliff or whatever, and it prevents you from actually falling.
Takes up so much room on your backpack.
I assume the 3 is going to be smaller, but also hearing what it does.
Oh, are you basically invincible?
Apparently you can like take a flying leap off a cliff and it's fine. You just land.
Oh, wow. Really?
It literally just makes you land on your feet and you keep going.
Oh, I need to go check it out then.
My first priority is to go get that thing now because then you don't have to worry about any traversal at all.
That place is so far.
Yeah.
That's a far one. I guess you just build a zipline network. It's not so bad.
Yeah, in retrospect, I don't think I would have unlocked anything if I had done more side stuff before I went and finished it. I don't think I would have unlocked like a single thing that would have really changed the way the end of the game played out.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to have some of those dopey weapons, like the dog mines and the I mean, that's a pretty early thing, but like, did you use that chiral cannon much at all?
I tried it like once. The thing is way too slow to fire.
It's a really long windup.
Yeah, like it takes so long to acquire a target, and if they move out of its range, it has to start the whole process over again. Like it just never shoots in a lot of cases.
And no void outs on your game?
No, not a single one.
Okay, not even accidental?
No.
Okay, I had like 2. I reloaded it.
What killed stuff?
I got when a BT. One of those BTs you can capture, or sometimes I don't even know if it's just the ones that happen during a rain. If they grab you and they eat you, then it'll cause.
You will cause a void out.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Oh! You mean like just the game over screen void out?
No,
like
no. You come back, you repatriate, and there's a giant hole in the ground.
Oh no,
yeah.
I never saw that.
Yeah.
Wild.
I kind of want to take all the stuff they said. Don't take this where humans are. I kind of want to take it.
Sure.
And sounds like you.
Yeah, and like then load up a truck full of bodies.
Stove.
Yeah.
You know what is a similar wild detail that I didn't pick up on until I read about it after I finished it is when you're doing the pizza chef stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Before you reveal the real pizza chef, you're getting tweets from the fake one, and there's a code he sends you. Did you ever try that? It's like hold down 3 buttons for like 3 seconds or something like that on the equip screen.
I don't think I did. No.
What that does is put the guns into live fire mode, which makes them lethal.
Oh.
And what the fake evil pizza chef is trying to do is trying to get you to inadvertently kill people with your seemingly non-lethal guns.
Fake evil pizza chef.
by putting them in lethal firing mode. And then you can straight up kill people with any of the guns and cause a void out with it.
Can you do that anytime you want?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Like I watched videos of it. You literally just go to the gun on the equip screen and hold the buttons and it turns red and goes into live fire mode. And then the bullets will kill people.
If we wind up, we're still debating it as of the time of this recording, whether we're just going to do a full watch a lore dump of Death Stranding. But if we can, we should try and watch the pizza chef.
I saved a save with the pizza chef cutscene.
Okay. That's one of my favorites.
I had a whole little system for trying to like dog ear thumbnails on my save games for the ones that I should keep. Yeah.
Well, let us know if you're listening to this and if you've made it this far. We're curious if people would be curious to watch that. If you're probably listening to this, you're probably curious to watch it. I wonder if it's the people that are so sick of hearing about Death Stranding 2, but they should probably know if they're never going to play it. They should probably come see some of this nonsense.
We should at least watch the dance scene.
That dance scene's so fun.
Nothing else.
I think I think it'd be interesting to have a chat with people live about what some of this stuff means if they have any ideas about some of those things. I like this game a lot. I think it pays off in a way that seems pretty tough to do with the scope of this game, and I think it sticks the landing in a weird way.
Like I said, I think that. Okay, again, I'm not going to go to bat for this. I'm not going to say definitively this is the best game he's ever made, but like I think it's the most successful game on every level that he has made.
I like the gameplay in Metal Gear 4 and
4?
I like 4, but what's the last one? The
Phantom Pain.
And Phantom Pain.
Phantom Pain is an incredible playing game. Like
I didn't mind 4. I didn't like Snake Eater. But 4.
That's the thing. Like a lot of people would say MGS3 is the best story.
Yeah.
But I distinctly remember really not liking playing 3.
Yeah.
At the time, I don't. It's nowhere near top of the list. But for a second, I was like, should I go play Snake Eater, like MGS3 Delta or MGS Delta? You know, the Snake Eater remake that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I assume that is a much better playing version of 3.
Yeah, I remember not loving the gameplay in 3, but I remember having good memories about 4, and definitely the gameplay. Like 4 is probably the best mix of gameplay and story for me.
I remember not loving the way 4 plays, but I guess maybe it was fine. I guess I just remember it feeling like another of the first 4 Metal Gear games. I was like, oh, this feels like another Metal Gear game. Like that's, but I was mostly just pushing through it to see the cutscenes.
Sure. I remember less crawling into people's knees in 4, but maybe I misremember.
But similar format though, you know, versus then 5 comes along and it's this like open world, quasi open world, like interconnecting stealth systems, like really interesting deep AI simulation-y stuff, you know, like it was like, oh my God, they made like a mechanics game now.
I think the thing about Death Stranding 2, and maybe even more than Death Stranding 1, it's amazing how much detail and work and effort and passion and sweat they put into stuff that people may never see, use, or even interact with, right? Like there's so many things that you get, or all these people that you can just get 1 star or 2, and like all these gadgets and gears and dialogue that like you just will never see if you're just doing a just fine playthrough through the game, you know?
There's so much equipment out there. Like
but it's like reading, not like bullshit. It's not like reskins. It's like
totally legit. It's a bunch of unique stuff. Like I went the entire game not realizing apparently you can grab that Polaroid camera and keep taking pictures with it.
Oh, the one in your room?
Yeah. Did you ever do that?
I didn't. No.
I assume it probably just kind of repeats that sequence of taking pictures, but that sequence is incredible. I don't think we ever talked about that.
Oh, where you like choose where you want to take the pictures?
Choose your location around the ship, specifically because they have all the actors, or it's mostly the actresses, like mugging. Like you can tell they were really having a ton of fun on the set that day, because they were basically just like, hey, pose for a bunch of photos. Like it's this almost like,
it's like weird Charlie's Angels-esque, like
right, but it's almost this like systemic little mini game of like, hey, we're going to blend all these animations together, and you have to like try to time your photo to get the perfect shot of everybody posing for the camera.
I wanted the worst shot,
because the first time I did it, Fragile's eyes were closed. So I was like, well, that's not going to work. In fact, I think they call you out for that. I think they say, well, no, my eyes were closed. You're going to have to take another one. Like that's such a fun, goofy little mini game.
Yeah, there's a lot of like I kind of said earlier, where some of my problem with it is how much of a simulation they make it, an exacting simulation, because then they, you know, the 157th time you're jumping out of your truck to go interact with a road paver, right? You're like, oh my God, I'm so over this whole process. But you know, they don't so break the simulation.
So much better than the first game. You do not understand. You do not understand. I was reading a list of things they have improved in this game. It is astonishing.
It's like everything, pretty much.
It is astonishing the level of bullshit in the first game that I had forgotten about.
Yeah, like, I must have forgot. I mean, look, there's a reason why the first game really destroyed me, when they start breaking all your shit at the end of the game.
Like, check this out. Do you remember? I'm sure you don't. I sure didn't. If you go to an auto paver in the first game and dump resources into it to build a road, any excess materials that you put in there that it didn't need just get eaten. You don't get them back.
I did not remember that.
You don't get excess materials back when you build stuff like roads in that game. Like, what the fuck?
But I think this game also just has more in it. I think it's just more and more and more. Like the road network, the monorail network.
Yes.
You know, it's just more extensive. And again, like it's just a lot of mechanics that you may or may not engage with, to the point where sometimes I was like, man, I feel like I might not be meeting this game on its own terms, and for beach jumping, then driving, and then should I beach jump back? And I just take the truck a lot. I mean, damn truck.
That's what I love about this game. Like Wes Finland at PC Gamer when he wrote this game up back when it came out, made this point that this game is almost kind of immersive sim adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think that, you know, he almost put it like, oh, this is almost like a PC game in console games clothing, because there are so many options for tackling every situation in this game that everybody comes up with their own way to do stuff, you know,
which like kind of
nobody plays this game exactly the same as anybody else.
Definitely not. And I think that is basically, you know, the core of this game is to satisfy whatever needs you bring to it, right? Like, because in the end, unless you're there for the story stuff, which you can kind of just mainline the story and do what you need to do, you're basically just going back and forth between points, you know, like, and like, it's like you make little challenges or at least I would be like, hey, I wonder if I can drive this there, or I wonder if I can hike this there, or I wonder if I should just do this road before I do this other thing.
So like, you know, for better or worse, my solution there was to make a huge upfront time investment of building all the roads out. And then that kind of sanded most of the friction off for making subsequent deliveries. And was that the right choice? I don't know, but it's the one I made.
I think it's the one, like, you want to build that world, right? You want that world with the infrastructure in it. And like, I think it's a great thing about that game. That's like, if you're going to let me do this, I'm going to do this.
Right. But then I also turn around and complain about not having to engage enough with like ladders and climbing gear and some of the more exacting or like difficult traversal stuff, you know? And
but
like,
some of those things,
did I do that to myself? Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you might never know this, but maybe those things would have made life easier for you. If you got out of the truck and just put up a couple of ladders and scaled that mountain to find the data scientist's package for the 87th time.
Now, if I just go grind out that level 3 stabilizer so I can jump off of cliffs and not worry about it.
Did you ever jump off the jump pads on foot?
Okay. Not on foot.
On foot, you go flying.
Interesting.
And you land just fine.
Huh.
But yeah, the worst thing about the jump pads is sometimes I'd hit them with not enough speed and get stuck on the side of a mountain and be like, shit, my truck is now.
Definitely happened.
I'm going to just reload because this truck is not making it down here.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really interesting going back and playing a bunch of 1 after this because you see all the similarities, but you also see.
Are you playing 1 vanilla or 1 like director's cut?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I downloaded the PS4 SKU and the PS5 director's cut to compare.
Okay.
I don't think I could ever go back to either one of those games. Like, it's just way too many quality of life improvements at this point.
So, okay, I could be misremembering, but this is a big thing about 1 that now that you finished this, 1, and I should go back and listen to what I said about it during Game of the Year or some talk to make sure I'm remembering correctly. But what I remember is by the time I got to the end of 1, they have you retracing your way back across the Americas, back across the continent. Mm-hmm. But most of your shit is broken now from Timefall. So imagine laying all that road across Australia, coming back in, and all your stuff is gone. Is that what happened, Alex?
That's how I remember it.
Yeah,
is that basically a lot of the infrastructure you built is just gone.
It's just gone because the Timefall has basically, like, you're not there, and the Timefall has just basically destroyed it all.
The
I was like,
last third of that game is straight up ass for the most part. Like, it's a lot of the worst parts of that game all deciding to be the culminating factors. Again, I do think the coda bit at the very, very end is pretty good, but all the stuff basically from the mountain to the point when you go back to that last coda, I think sucks out loud.
And I think even the boss fights in the sludge are a little better this time. They give you what feels like
there's so many more tools to work with here.
Or platforms to climb up on.
You're definitely right about that, although I did get caught once in DS1 Director's Cut and had to fight one of those lion kind of things and actually beat it, I think, without taking a hit in 1 after having finished 2, because I think I was just like on the game's wavelength way more.
In the zone.
That I could do that, but I remember utterly despising those fights when I played that game originally.
They sucked.
How slowly you like trudge through the tar and how hard it is to dodge stuff and everything.
It also feels like in 2, Sam is so much tankier. Like he just...
Oh, dude, yes. This 100%. I mean...
Like, you either can have more blood packs or he's tankier or something, but like, man, there are times I just got mauled and kept getting back up and was like all right.
Like, they turn DS2 into MGS5, basically. Or like, it's very similar in a lot of the mechanics.
Like, I don't know if you ever did you ever get killed by running out of health
in 2?
In 2?
No, I don't. Not that I remember.
Okay, yeah, like you have so many options for health.
Yeah, and you can always like eat a cryptobiote or whatever.
Yeah, or blood bags are just popping out of the tar. Right.
Or, and so I mean that is for the more hardcore players, that is a negative in this game, that you don't ever really run up against resource scarcity or too much damage or anything. The game is kind of constantly making sure you're okay.
Yeah. I did farm my Architect's chiral crystals and that with those golden blobs.
Oh, hell yeah. It's one of my
Speaking
favorite
of
parts
resource
of this game.
scarcity.
It's one of my favorite parts of this game.
Just smoking those things with grenades.
So much fun.
Do you have to reload, or can you just run far enough away to get them to respawn?
I never tried redoing one area like in sequence like that, but it seemed like just kind of fast traveling around and back would make them respawn or advancing time.
Just spend the night at the Architects and then wake up again and just go.
So there's like we should probably move on with the podcast, but there's so many little things I didn't realize until after I finished the game and started reading people talking about it. Like, I didn't realize you could just take a nap to advance time to make the monorail finish.
Oh yeah.
Sit around and because they don't remind you that often that there is kind of a real time clock in the game and that you can manipulate it to your advantage. And I totally didn't. I never realized like, if I just go rest in my private room, it'll be here immediately. Like
I took a nap outside to recharge the batteries on my freaking truck.
I also didn't know you could sleep outside.
Yeah. I sat down next to my truck and just took a nap so the solar panels would charge.
Like, there's so many times I went back to a private room to advance to the next day. I was like, it's raining, or I want it to be daytime. And I did not realize you could just sleep wherever you are to make that happen. Well,
I think if you sleep out in the rain, that's not good.
Well, that's bad. Yeah. But you don't have to go back to a thing to advance time is what I mean.
Death Stranding 2.
Did you know that you can collapse an entire like page, quote unquote, in the cargo? Like, if you have so many materials that it'll be like materials 1 and then like 80 ceramics and then materials 2. If you just highlight over like materials 1 and hit triangle, it'll collapse that whole thing into one item and you can just manipulate all of them as one.
Oh, I knew you can collapse it. I didn't know you can manipulate it.
Yeah, so you collapse it down to the single item and you can just say move to truck or whatever.
Oh, wow.
That's another one that I missed.
I mean, that one's good, but there's like, for every one of those, I still have about 5 other ones that I wish they did do. They're just like, tell me how much stuff is in my damn truck.
Yeah, that's the one for me is just show me the sum total of ceramics I have in my truck at any given time, please. What the fuck?
All right, should we move on?
Hell of a game.
I'm glad to have been able to talk about it with you. It was fun to have this discussion throughout the last billion years on the podcast. It's a fairly lengthy game that doesn't devolve just into, like, I feel like talking about Assassin's Creed is the story's not there, and I feel like it's just more of like, I don't know, I'm still going.
Like I think this game works to a pretty significant degree on every level that it's trying to do something. Like, it does not profoundly fail at anything in the way that quite a few of his games fail at one thing or another, I feel like.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like it doesn't fail, but I don't know if the things it's doing necessarily tickle me as much as maybe you. I think the things it does, I think it is successful. I just think what it's successful at, to me, I found sometimes tedious, even though it's just like, like towards the end, I was definitely ready to push forward.
Yeah, I also lost a ton of momentum on 5-starring every location and stuff like that.
But that's not what the game is asking you to do necessarily. So, I was ready to just move on with it. And I
mean, I got 100 hours out of it, even without all of that.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of game. I will probably go back and have to read the platinum list and see if there's anything that I missed on there that's real pain in the neck.
Basically anything except getting the 5 stars is super easy.
It is?
It's all basically just like fast travel to the place and do the thing. Well, there's one other one that's like, you need to get 10 S ranks for all 3 types of missions, which is like deliveries, eliminations, and I forget what the other one is.
Just S rank?
Yeah. But you've got a decent number of those already but you might have to like go do a few more. The missions that I almost never did of like, go to the bandit base and destroy the tar drugs.
Yeah.
Like, that's a type of mission that you need like 10 S ranks on, so you might have to do a few more of those.
A couple more of those.
Yeah.
At that point, I'll just goof around. Like, I'll bring my guitar.
Yeah. Or bring the guitar, bring some dog mines, just fuck around.
Or I think guitars might kill people.
Yes. I think you're right. But like everything but that and the 5-star is like super quick.
Okay.
Very last thing I'm going to say really quick that I forgot to mention before we move on. I thought, they really lay the music cues on thick when you leave to go back to Mexico. Like, once you really get into the end game there, I thought the amount of low roar that they drop at the end was like really touching. Because low roar was the guy who did the music for the first game, kind of famously, and then passed away during the development of 2. Like, I think presumably he would have done the music for this game as well. Like, they dedicate the game to him at the end of the credits, but I just thought, I was just like, having known all that backstory and also like kind of really liking low roar now. Having come out of that first game, like, I thought it was just kind of a nice tribute that
is nice.
Save a lot of the music cues for his songs for that last sequence.
It's a heck of a game.
It's a very touching game. Like, it's really a game where the sort of aesthetic preferences, like tastes of the guy who, I mean, to be clear, a ton of people worked on this game, but like the Kojima-ness of it really comes through.
It feels like there's a vision for it.
A really profound, like, pervasive way that I think really works.
I think this one threads some kind of needle between its silliness and its sentimentality.
Yes,
so I think
it's earnest and sentimental and goofy and unhinged in equal parts in a way that kind of all combines together in a really pleasant way.
Yeah, it doesn't get mired down. It knows where it stands, but also still has a not completely saccharine message.
Yes, and yes, pretty human and uplifting in a way that most of his games are not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if Chris Pearson from Aftermath listens to this podcast or not, but I remembered him posting a ton about this game back when it was new, and I skipped all those posts because I had not finished the game at that point, but I went and read a bunch of the stuff. He said a lot of similar stuff about it that I agree with strongly if you've read what he's written about it.
I have not.
Like as a sort of post-COVID antidote to to the state of everything. Like that this game is kind of uplifting and human and earnest in a way that is like really appropriate right now.
All right.
That we're
going to move on.
Yes, we're done.
But Alex, I want to bring you back in here before we close the book on this part of it for the podcast. And maybe again, we'll do this thing on Friday, but, and we'll revisit this. I'm going to posit the question. Because I know this is the good, interesting, fun part. How much of this and where is this mapped onto Kojima, Konami, and Metal Gear in terms of metaphor for 100%? 100% is Metal Gear Lou?
I mean, yes. I think, broadly speaking, again, there are probably very specific metaphors that have much more nuance to them than maybe what we are allowing for here. But I think, broadly speaking, Death Stranding 1 was very much about him reconciling the fact that he no longer has his franchise, his baby anymore. And 2 was him coming to terms with the fact that that is the case and he has moved on.
Has he moved on because Metal Gear's not really dead? It's just aging.
Well, it'll never be his
locker
again is the thing.
Yeah.
So
it's grown up.
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
Yeah.
That's a quarter now.
Pretty common interpretation of this game, but he's got Fizzent now. Like,
he's got a whole other crew, his whole band.
I will bet significant amounts of money that Fizzent is going to be Metal Gear and everything but name. Like,
yeah, probably.
Like, I mean, they're full on, like, returning to the stealth action that made him famous or whatever. Like, they're already banging that drum about it.
In that grand metaphor, or not too subtle metaphor, who is Konami? Are they A past 4000? Are they Higgs?
I mean, I would have said they were Bridges originally. Now I don't. I guess probably A past some level. Again, there are other metaphors I'm sure that are swirling around in there that I just don't know. So, but yeah, sure.
I bet somebody's mapped this all out.
Yeah,
sure.
there's a big cork board somewhere with a lot of string on it.
Totally.
Yeah, it's weird coming out of this game. I guess this is the last thing I'll say. Like, I'm there for his stuff now in a way that I was not before.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like coming out of this, I'm like, all right, maybe, I don't know if it was going independent and like being able to do whatever he wanted or just gaining the wisdom of age or what. But like, again, this game coheres in a way that some of his past games have not, in a way that, like, I don't know if I was super interested in OD until I finished this game. And like now I will be there day one for OD just to see what they do with it, having seen what they did with this.
It's in a marketplace that does not reward being adventurous or taking audacious steps. This is a very cool thing to have, I hope, be a financial success, and to have been financially backed. You know, some people that put money into to take a chance.
Yes, particularly at this level of production values and celebrity and so on and so forth.
It's not like games like this aren't being made, but I feel like games like this are being made on a much smaller scale. But I don't know. I feel like this was a misunderstanding for me on the first one, where I thought the first one had an extraordinary budget, but it was not. I guess I came to learn later, maybe not as big as I thought it was on the first game.
I don't know. I don't know what it cost.
Maybe this one was a lot more. I have no idea, but I thought I was told that it was not as grand and ridiculous as, what they do is technically very extremely impressive, but the scope of the environments and everything like that, in terms of interiors and that, it's not, I guess that, I don't know where the money is saved.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Last thing.
Here's the real last thing. Final
just
last.
a quick. I'm just going to say, I'm not trying to climb up on a soapbox here or anything, but like you see this idea floating around here and there that like graphics plateaued last generation on the PS4, and that we're just spinning our wheels now. I highly encourage you to play a few dozen hours of Death Stranding 2 and then go back and try to play the original again.
Oh, really?
That will disabuse you of that notion very quickly.
It is a drastic difference.
Like that game come after, like, you know when your brain gets used to like the controls of something or the way something looks or sounds, and then you go and play something else that works differently and your brain like has a hard time adapting, you know?
Absolutely, yes.
It was that for me profoundly, of just like, oh my God, I remember this game looking kind of amazing when it came out, and holy shit.
It did at the time.
But like the difference is unfucking believable.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The difference of the new one looks so much better. It is like
The new one is exceptional.
it really looks. Yeah, and I think that's a big part of why like those music drops work, because the landscape looks so great.
Yeah,
Every
the
time they
lighting is
happen, like the
amazing.
lighting, everything about the presentation of the new one looks so good that it makes those moments hit harder.
Yeah. Is this only on PS5 or is this on?
Yeah.
Okay. There's no PC version of this yet?
Not yet, but that has to be coming.
It will happen, certainly.
All right. That was the last.
Yes, I'm done.
All right. Well, again, we might come back. This is the thing we were still thinking about doing on Friday, was maybe just booting up some scenes from Death Stranding 2 for those who have played it and want to see it again and talk about it, and for those who will never touch it and want to join us and see what all the fuss is about. So, if you want to let us know if that's something interesting or not. And if you've been listening to all of this, it's probably a self-selecting group of people who would say yes to that. But
I was kind of excited about the idea, but now we've gone through it all so exhaustively that I don't know if it's necessary now.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. We've still got a couple of days. Yeah. All right. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to have a very much shorter segment of other stuff we've been playing.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
No,
this is what this is for.
It's Video Games Podcast. That's what they tell me. And then we'll move on and we'll do the news and the rest of the podcast. So we'll be right back after this. And we are back. And let's talk a little bit about Lumines Arise.
I have something to say about that game.
Yeah, what is
that
it?
game is so good.
Yeah? I didn't get a chance to jump in on it yet. You two did, though.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in Lumines Arise?
You know what it is, right?
Well, is it Lumines?
It's Lumines.
At its core, absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Did you play Tetris Effect?
I did.
What if Tetris Effect but Lumines?
It sounds like a great combination to me.
There you go.
Okay, great.
It's actually kind of wild they did the Tetris before they did this one and gave that treatment, because this feels like the most naturally EDM of all the things puzzle games you could do this with.
Sure. I mean, Lumines very much has that in its like core DNA in a way that Tetris did not. Maybe they needed like the oomph of the Tetris license to really see a project of that scale through. I don't know. I mean, this is very much that format again. Like, there is a sort of story mode to this that has a ton of different like backgrounds, tile sets. What do you want to call them? Treatments, art treatments for the blocks you're dropping.
Visual splendor.
Yes. Modes around the edges. It's got multiplayer that I have not tried yet. It's got challenges. There's a survival version of the story, I think, that you kind of play through Also, there's a gacha machine.
Okay.
Because I love that they have gone further in this direction. That this game has a like player card like a Call of Duty would.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure Tetris Effect had something similar, but if this feels even more, it's literally the rectangle where you make a little avatar and a background and give yourself a slogan. Just like it's a life service multiplayer game.
What are some of the slogans you can get?
You're unlocking words. You're unlocking. That's where the gacha machine comes in. You earn like currency. You can't buy currency, to be clear. There's nothing.
Yeah, this is not a free-to-play game.
There's like a $5 deluxe edition that just gets you some enhanced themed, like you get like a Res avatar and a Tetris avatar.
Okay.
If you want to give them an extra $5, but there are no microtransactions, I want to be very clear. You just earn currency by playing the game. But you unlock new heads, new symbols, new words. So there's a bunch of adjectives and nouns to give yourself a title. So I'm currently the best warlord, I think.
Okay.
Or
Great.
you could be patient, try hard, or whatever. Stuff like that. So.
And as you go through the story stuff, do you just hit an end point and they're like credits?
Yes.
Basically. I assume it's an escalation of difficulty.
Yes, it gets pretty challenging. Even on normal, I actually bombed out 4 or 5 times in the last couple chapters, I think.
Okay. I was bombing out. Okay. To be clear, I've never been the best Lumines player by any stretch. It has never been a puzzle game that has fully locked into my brain, something like a Tetris has. But, back in the old PSP days, I at least was passable, I would say. I was getting my ass absolutely knocked over even on like the first level, the first few times I tried to play, because something about the combos and sort of lining up everything in this game, it's just not something that my brain naturally goes to. So I'm having to completely retrain myself to play Lumines, because I really have not played a significant amount of Lumines, probably since the Vita, if I had to guess, that era.
It's got a bunch of training that might be worth going through.
Yeah. It does seem like it has pretty good tutorial stuff.
I guess people know what Lumines is. I don't necessarily need to say it, but it's you're dropping 2x2 blocks, and every tile in the 2x2 blocks is one of two colors, and so you're making bigger blocks with different colors to clear them. This has, original Lumines, you would occasionally get the block with a little plus on it, and so any block of that color touching that block, they would all get cleared.
Yeah, it's like a bomb.
Kind of. So it still has that, and then it's also got burst mode on top of that. And this is where this game gets really fun for me, is the saves in this game. Tetris Effect had a similar thing. I can't remember what the mode was, but similar thing there of building up meter and then cashing it in to get like some free clears, basically. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
In Tetris,
what you would actually proc.
In Tetris, it was like you slowed down time, and then the line clears didn't actually go away when you cleared them. But then
is that what it was? Okay.
They all cleared at the end of the slow down time part or something. It's been
like a super.
Time. Yeah,
yeah.
So in this one, the burst mode, it's similar. It kind of slows down time and like kind of gives you some breathing room. Except you're making the biggest block humanly possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So it designates like a block as here's the block you're making. So you're only dropping that color. And as that block gets bigger, all the surrounding other colors just fly off the screen. So you can have one single block that is the size of most of the play field if you're good by the end of burst mode. And then it clears that, and then all of the other color that flew off the screen all comes back and drops back down in the empty space. And then that inevitably makes a bunch of blocks because it's cleared all of the first color out of the way. And then most of that gets cleared too.
Sounds pretty good.
To be clear, you can fuck this up badly.
Yes.
Okay.
I have several times.
There's a skill to it.
I've definitely a few times I've tried to use burst mode to save my ass. Like I really, if you just don't drop things smartly to make the big block bigger, then you're just not going to get much room created. You're not going to create much space before the mode ends or the burst ends, and then you're just done. But the burst mode is really fun. I found the burst mode to be more exciting than the Tetris Effect equivalent.
Yeah.
At clearing a bunch of the board at the last second right before you're about to eat shit.
It also feels like one you can beef up a lot harder, and I have had a very hard time getting those bursts to line up in a way that felt like it is what the game wants me to do. Again, this is probably just about me relearning Lumines and kind of getting in tune with this version's mechanics, but
I would say I'm also still a little confused about exactly how you make that block bigger or where it wants you to put the blocks to. Like it doesn't send the other colors flying across off the screen every time you drop a block.
Yeah,
you have to drop the right color in the right places. It's only when it crosses certain thresholds of getting bigger that it clears more space. I know this is all kind of abstract to try to picture.
I left the block dropping beats.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, whatever. The burst mode is, I still haven't quite gotten a perfect feel for how to maximize it, but you can get enough done with it to really make more space at a time when you're about to get buried.
Does Lumines Arise have online leaderboards? Like, can you see your friends' scores per
so.
level?
Yeah, it has leaderboards.
I have not looked.
The servers were not connecting the last time I looked, so it might have been like hey, we're about to launch, like some stuff might be getting reset, but it definitely has leaderboard stuff.
Yeah, I have not. I played through it before it was in wide release, so I can't say for sure. I need to go back and check. The real thing about this game, though, I should just say it. I mean, it's the aesthetic treatment, B, it's VR.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you shouldn't play this game not in VR.
I mean, I am, and I'm telling you right now, it's totally fine not in VR, but I could very easily see how that would be the ideal way maybe to play it.
Dude, it was overwhelming at times. I'm serious.
So what happened? What are you seeing? It's not just it is the
Tetris Effect thing. It's 100%. If you play Tetris Effect in VR, you know what you're getting here. It is.
So it's basically a floating play field.
It is a floating puzzle play field with the same stuff you'd be seeing on a TV, figures contorting around the sides, or some of it is
surrounding it.
Yes, except you're just floating in space, and that stuff is all around you, and you've got headphones on, and it's really just like enveloping you in synesthesia.
Okay.
I think they have gone way further in this one in a lot of places, and it's you're changing vibes every 5 minutes. You're changing to a new tile set every 5 minutes. New, just like original Lumines.
Oh, yeah,
New song, new tile set, new visual, everything.
Speed, I assume, of the clear bar.
Speed will be faster or shorter. I just think that this one feels a little more confident and a little more out there in places in terms of the kind of like looks and concepts they came up with for a bunch of the tile sets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the way the music props those up or supports and enhances those. You know, I could sit here and rattle off examples, but it's just the concepts they came up with for like what can the two types of tiles be made out of are more creative in this one, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how many there was Lumines, there was the Lumines that came out on the consoles.
Oh, I couldn't even begin to catalog Luminescences.
Oh,
there have been
are there
several.
more than
There's been
okay.
not a million of them, but more than I can keep track of.
It's been a while
really?
since they've made
Okay.
a new one, but
And not,
I think
and not all made by
Okay.
the same team is the other thing.
I guess I thought there were fewer than there actually were.
Like there was a Lumines 2 that I never played. There were some others that I don't remember. I think Lumines Live and Lumines Remastered are the two kind of remakes of the first one,
Okay.
I think.
Lumines Arise, PlayStation VR 2 and SteamVR, and also obviously the PlayStation 5 and PC.
as
Yeah,
you've
they're
probably come to expect from this game and this studio, very good soundtrack.
Yeah, exceptional soundtrack. Very, very good. And again, like it pairs with the visuals super well. And particularly, again, in VR, it's just I don't think there is a person in video games who has benefited more from the progress of technology than Mizuguchi.
Oh,
frankly. Like it just really feels like, I'm not trying to like glaze him too much here, but he was 20 or 30 years ahead of his time on everything he wanted to do. And then VR headsets happened, and now he is like finally able to actually realize the ambition he had back on like the Dreamcast.
Put people in his dreams now.
With the first Res, you know, instead of playing Res on a 20-inch CRT, you're inside Res now. you
Right.
know? And like it's like overwhelming at times. Like I'm not joking. There were points in this where like I had like a razor thin save. I was like literally like the blocks were at the top of the thing and I was just barely getting them into nooks and crannies to keep myself alive just long enough to get the burst mode active and then pop the burst mode exactly when the music is like crescendoing, you know, and crazy shit all around you. And it just like, dude, this works in a way that
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like I'm really like connecting with what he wants you to feel. And to be
fair, we
fair,
should have connected.
yes, Mizuguchi is not listed as the director on this game. I don't want to say it's just him. He is one of the leads, but obviously other people worked on this game as well. But it's very much in the mold of games he has been making for the last 10 plus years.
Listen, whatever you want to say about what his exact nature of his role is, there is a creative guiding energy that is always there in any one of those games, and that wellspring absolutely springs forth from him.
Real fucking strong week for me and legendary Japanese creators who really like to inject their aesthetic tastes and preferences into their work in a really earnest and straightforward way. Like, again, like the way that I was just like vibing with the music and the visuals and like the puzzle stuff being really hard and barely saving my ass and having all that come together. Kind of like that truck moment, to be honest. Like it just feels like, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to get all highfalutin here, but it just feels like the medium is reaching a point where like creative intent is coming across in a lot of places in a way that it didn't always do as much before. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. People are being able to or seem like the technology is helping these folks realize their vision.
Yes. Or in a way that the player can interpret and feel more clearly than in the past, potentially.
I mean, look, Res was novel at the time too, right? So like, you do what you can with the technology, but I hear what you're saying.
What are we calling this? Like ludo-thematic resonance or something like that?
I'm
not going to do that.
Highfalutin Brad with his imports, his Japanese imports. Just
let's get Clint Hawking on the phone. We need a new term.
Lumines Arise, $40, PC, PS5, and again, you get your VR in there with your SteamVR and PlayStation VR 2. Let's keep it going. Segue, Brad. Segue me to your other synesthetic experience. Did you want to know? Am I thrashing about here for a segue?
That's Alex.
That's me. I'm Mr. Thrasher.
No, I was gonna have you hand it off.
I see.
Yeah. It's okay.
I think I've blown it at this point.
No, it's great. It's okay. We'll cut all that part out. It'll be fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Alex,
Thrasher.
you thrashed.
It's here. I mean, it's been here for a while, but now it is here in a format that you don't have to have a VR headset for.
You're flattened out.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So, look, I didn't play Thrasher in VR when it first came out because I don't really play VR games, but I loved Thumper. Like,
Yes.
it's one half of the team that made Thumper. It's Brian Gibson, and I think it's a different co-developer this time with him than was on Thumper. But this game... So here's what I know about this compared to the VR version. I think the actual setup for it is reasonably different. Like, it is the same mechanics, it's the same idea, but like the visual presentation obviously is somewhat different when you're in a headset versus on a TV or a screen. But this game, for lack of a better term, is heavy metal Fruit Ninja.
Okay. Okay.
And I mean that in the sort of cosmic, progressive, like prog metal kind of, imagery and vibes that it kind of, Thumper had that. Like, it was that weird sort of like hyper metallic, but also weird art, like surrealist psychedelia kind of thing going on. This has that too, but it is a, different mechanic. But the idea when you're playing on PC without a VR, again, I'm not speaking to the VR experience, is that you are taking your mouse, you are controlling this. It's a worm. But the kind of worm feels more like the sort of like, lots of tendril sea worm you might see. Like, there's a lot of like fluttering things coming off of it and things like that as it moves through the space. But it is controlled with the mouse, and you are using the mouse to cut it through objects that appear in front of you. They call them crystals. So they appear in different forms. Sometimes it's just like round circles you need to cut the thing through. Sometimes it's like big bars, and you have to cut it through in different waves. They all have to kind of go on a thing where you're slicing it in the right direction. And then there are obstacles, like red pulsing objects that will appear that sort of like try to fuck up your flow. And what you're trying to do is do these cuts in the fastest amount of time you can to get the highest score. Yeah, with the mouse.
And you imagine in VR, you'd be waving your hands. Fruit Ninja style.
100%.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then each level is topped off with a boss fight. Which, is just a mixture of the mechanics you play. It has structurally very similar ideas to what Thumper was doing, where each level is kind of its own self-contained array of mechanics and sound design and specific boss. And then when you're done with that, you move on to the next section. And it's the same mechanics, but it is a very different presentation of it.
How is the soundtrack here?
So it's more like, unlike something like Lumines, where the soundtrack is extremely in your face and present, like here it's more it's a soundscape. Like there is music there and it's fucking cool, but it is not like songs. It is more of an oral sort of underpinning to everything. And it's not like Thumper because it's not a rhythm game.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No.
Okay. Oh, okay. And there's also no travel to this because like Thumper was not a racing game as such, but you were like moving along a track, right?
Yes, this is no track. You are on a screen, and things are floating into your field of view.
Okay. This is I kind of thought this was going to be more Thumper-like than it sounds like it actually is.
I think the rhythm aspect, if there is anything that is rhythm-like in it, is that you are kind of looking at the screen and trying to figure out what is the optimal path that I can take with the cutting. And, there's obviously, like I said, there's obstacles in your way, but, you're trying to do it in a way that feels like, it's more about creating a deft touch that gets you through everything as fast as you can versus trying to hit some sort of rhythmic pattern.
Okay. So is it, we've had a lot of VR games that are in this mold, but is it a little bit Beat Saber-esque if you were in the VR, I guess?
Yeah,
with the mouse?
it has some adjacency to that, but again, that is a track game. That is you are hitting the notes to create the music.
This is more Fruit Ninja. Okay.
This is more like the music and the musical accompaniment is just the sounds that create the vibe.
Yeah.
The music is not the thing you are working with directly.
It's not the weapon. Music is not the weapon. Okay.
Not in this one.
Thrasher. Okay, got it. I really thought it was a rhythm game as well. Okay. Slice 'em game. Rhythm.
Yeah,
it's a music slice 'em game.
Look, Thumper was a weird rhythm game.
It was a weird rhythm game.
It was.
And in that regard, yeah, it was grimy. It was weird. It was very menacing in ways. This has some of that menace, but it is just a different application of like similar aesthetics to what they tried in Thumper.
Well, Thrasher is $10.
$9 right now if you get it
on sale.
Yeah.
And again, you get that on the PC. They have it on the SteamVR. You can also get it. That came out on the 7th. Thrasher.
It had been stuck on the Quest. That was where it could not leave for a while there,
Okay.
and now it is on other platforms.
$10.
Yeah. I think if you like Thumper at all, this is at least worth trying out, especially for $9.
Yeah. Yes. Can't get anything for $9. All right. You guys interested in Dispatch at all? You guys gonna jump in there and Dispatch? That game is great.
It seems neat.
I think I'm on the verge of actually downloading it after hearing you and some other friends talk about it.
I think I said last week, hearing that the strategy part of it is kind of an afterthought.
It's better now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gotten way more involved, and they as they go deeper in this, as you go deeper into the story, that story stuff bleeds into the strategy part in interesting ways. For example, there's one part where like you might stir some shit up between people, and they start sabotaging each other on the missions and stuff like that. Yeah, so actually that part,
that's neat.
Yeah, they start adding in wrinkles to the assignments that make it not only tie into the bigger narrative going on, but make the strategy parts harder and more interesting. So the first couple of ones felt a little mechanical, and now they are. I still think the hacking isn't super great, but the actual strategy portions of the game are way more interesting now. And also you start getting upgrades for the superheroes as you're going through it, which add modifiers to things like this character can now fly, so they can go faster to and from a place. This character can clone another hero if you send him on a mission. So it's cool. I think that game's great.
Interesting.
I'm not sure exactly. The game just kind of flows as you finish one episode to the next. So I'm not even sure exactly which episode I'm in. But things seem cool. I don't know. The story's pretty rad. All the acting seems great. The characters are fun. I've made choices that people will remember. I think Dispatch is a fantastic game.
Do they say that?
They definitely have this person will remember this.
They do?
Oh, yeah. Upper left of the screen, where it belongs.
Interesting. That's become such a trope that I'm almost surprised they haven't found another way to phrase that or depict it somehow.
No, it's right there in all its glory.
All right.
Dispatch. I'm going to probably finish that one up. I'm not sure how far I am in it. Because I think there's like 6 episodes.
8, I want to say.
8? Okay.
I think it's 8.
And I must be a good ways into it now. I should just check the main menu.
Sorry, I want to say the last episodes come out this week. I'm trying to find the roadmap. I'm pretty sure they wrap it up this week or maybe next week at latest.
Yeah. Again, if people aren't hip on it, Dispatch is episodic, but the episodes were coming out at such a cadence that if you're listening to this podcast, I think they'll all be out there.
Oh, yes. The episode 7 and 8 came out today.
Okay. Yeah. I'm curious to see what happens. My kids wanted to play it. I will say there are filters for swearing and some of the, I think, more graphic content and nudity and stuff like that. I think it's a great game. I just let my 13-year-old play it, and see some boobs. You see some boobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? My wife definitely gave me some glares, being like, "Ah, did you play this yet?" I was like, "No, they're ahead of me. Why? What are they seeing?"
Oh,
and I'm like, "No, that's just people having sex." And you're like, "All right, yeah, we can deal with it." Dispatch. That's about it. We're continuing with Silent Hill F. Not too much to say about that. I think this is probably a game that streaming it very different than playing it solo. I found the combat to not be that engaging in it, and it's starting to hit its bit of Silent Hill trappings. Now we're in a school. I think we're going to be going around the school, get the map, and go around the school. And I think when you stream it, you maybe lose some of the atmosphere and some of the kind of deeper poking around, getting all the story stuff.
Sure.
But I still like the kind of environment and the production on it. I think the enemy designs are cool and pretty sick. And the main character is pretty cool. Also does one of the things I really like in video games, which is the main character's outfit seems to be getting more distressed as time goes by in the game, which is always a fun thing. Silent Hill F. You can catch us playing it. And I went back to Silksong.
Oh,
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, see, look, I went back. I have about 20 hours in that game. I went back, and I had to be like, why was I dicking around in this area? I have to remember what the hell I was doing. and get the controls back. But I bought the 8-Bit Do Pro 3 to specifically play with this game because of the D-pad. And the thing I appreciate now, and this is a little less about Silksong and more about the controller, is that it has those toggles on the back for the triggers to do them as low throw triggers, which, man, that's pretty rad. I have not had a controller. I didn't have any of the special elites or anything like that have the switch that shortens the throw on the triggers. That's pretty good.
It's just like a little physical block, right? That just keeps them from going all the way down.
I think that's all it is. It feels like a mechanical tab that you're just inserting in there. But it's pretty good. And because that's like the dash, which becomes like your dodge move and stuff like that. And
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool controller. If anybody's looking for a controller to play some other stuff on, I really like it. I think that Pro 3 is pretty damn good. Solid D-pad on it too.
Now is it as good as the new Steam controller is going to be?
We'll talk about that in a moment. But I will say, I think they both use the successor to the Hall effect. Thing.
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, the TMR. It's the next from the makers of Hall. It's the next thing.
Tunneling magneto-resistance, you mean?
There you go.
You heard about this?
Wow.
Yeah.
I had not heard about this, actually.
I think it's supposed to be lower power consumption and also a little more, the fidelity is supposed to be better is what they say.
That's neat.
Yeah. And if you're already lost, I'm sorry, but it is basically to get away from the traditional potentiometer that is in the analog sticks, which over time, everybody knows can lead to drift and misalignment. And this is supposed to negate some of that.
Now we have these technologies. The problem is if the console makers would actually just use them.
Yeah, well, like you just mentioned there, we'll talk about one console maker,
platform maker, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
In just a second, because we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about the news and some news that just dropped. Yes.
Yep. The Steam controller straight up has TMR sticks.
Yeah. No, I saw that. That on there. So we're going to talk about this news that just dropped as of the time of this recording. So stick around. We'll talk about Valve and its all its offerings right after this. All right, we are back, and apparently also what is back is the Steam controller and to be paired with a new Steam
machines. You heard of them?
And
that's the thing. Everybody's out there talking about that Steam controller.
Hell yeah, I am. First of all, look, it's got an adorable little face on it with like red cheeks and a little mouth. If you just look at that picture of that thing, it's an adorable face on it. Look, while we were recording, Valve, I should say, went and announced their product lineup here for their long-awaited Steam machine.
Or the return of Steam machines, I should say.
Yeah.
They did, how long has it been?
10 years.
15 million years.
Wasn't it like 2011 or 12 when the first ones came out?
I thought it was 2015, but I could be wrong.
Were those ever put out by Valve, or were those contracted out to other people?
That might have been other manufacturers making Steam machines, like making like branded first iteration.
November 2015.
Okay. Wow, that was more recent than I remembered.
So I really just want to preface this with, as we're talking about this, we've got like the Valve press release up. It looks like populating as we're talking about this are some other write-ups about the press release. I'm sure hands-ons will people who want to go see this stuff.
I think some people did fly up to Seattle.
Start coming out.
The Verge has a big hands-on story. They went up there to see stuff.
So instead of holding the podcast for tomorrow or anything like that, we're just going to kind of talk our way through the kind of breaking of this stuff.
I mean, this literally hit after we had gotten on this call to start recording, so we barely even looked at specs or anything like that yet.
So we're just kind of giving you our thoughts on it. Thoughts on it. We did not get a hands-on with this stuff, so we'll be.
None of us are in Seattle right now.
The same as you for some of these hands-on things, but. First impressions, Brad, you got any first kind of
live reacts?
It appears that the Steam machine appears to be a small form factor box that runs Steam OS, the same thing that runs on the Steam Deck.
It's a cute little cube.
Pretty small.
Yeah, it really is in this like B-Link mini form. No.
Actually,
B-Link,
the Cube. Yeah.
B-Link has a NAS type box out that looks
I did see that. Somebody who just bought a B-Link this last weekend.
Yeah. Or it's also getting into like the quote unquote small form factor PCs cases that are huge now, like the mini ITX that everybody makes, these little shoebox looking PC cases.
You mean like the 3 banana case?
Yeah, sure. Something like that.
3 banana, 2 apple.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a set top Steam Deck is sort of the angle here. Presumably the kind of integrated experience of a Steam Deck, except not a handheld, more of a set top thing. I think like
living room Steam Deck.
Like oomph is the big question. Like how much horsepower is in this thing?
Their claim here is 4K 60 with their version of their frame generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. It's AMD hardware, so it'll have FSR, which is their kind of DLSS equivalent, I assume. I tried to, in the 5-minute break we had before this, I tried to Google around a little bit. Like Digital Foundry is out with a report on this thing. Some other people. I saw the phrase like 6 times the power of a Steam Deck being thrown around. I don't know if that came out of one of those hands-on reports from somebody like DF, but I guess that's being bandied about. Let's say maybe that there might be something to those numbers.
So what does that get you in terms of practical horsepower compared to where a Steam Deck ceiling is right now?
Steam Deck is a pretty modestly powered piece of hardware, so like that's substantial compared to the Steam Deck, but that's still like not necessarily it's not going to like blow the current consoles out of the water if I had to guess. But this is extremely speculative. Like barely had time to look at any of this stuff.
But I think this is so my first impression here is they are going for a full ecosystem on this one because they are announcing this with alongside not a new Steam Deck, but they are pairing it up with the Steam Deck. Their return to VR,
a fucking new VR headset. Like, a lot of this stuff has been rumored.
Coming, I'll be honest.
Well, a lot of the stuff has been rumored off and on, but like the idea that they just announced all of this at once is kind of nuts. Like, any one of these things would have gotten their own announcement in the past. Like, hey, new VR headset. Here's the sequel to the Index, by the way.
Yeah, the Steam frame with its own new controllers as well. And this is a self-contained VR thing that can play games natively.
This appears to be, looks like it's kind of an Oculus Quest, MetaQuest competitor. Because, it's got hardware in it to play games. It says it's got a Snapdragon CPU in it. I assume that's for playing games. Again, like literally skimming specs as we are going to press here or whatever.
Yeah. Look, this is not going to be our deep dive. This is going to kind of be our first impressions on it. So I think it's really interesting that they are kind of pulling this all together for a big announcement. So basically saying, hey, 2026, you can have a Steam gaming environment, right?
Right.
It's funny you mentioned the kind of living room aspect of this box, which is definitely a thing they're going for because they have also, which is of high priority to me, a new Steam controller, which would say to me that they want you to be able to play your PC games on a couch.
Right.
Your more PC. Looks like it has 2 big fat trackpads right there for your thumbs.
Those look pretty similar to the Steam Deck ones, I think.
Yeah. I've never played on a Steam Deck with those. I don't own a Steam Deck. Yeah, does it work okay?
Yeah, generally, I'd say for the games that I want to play and that would benefit from using a trackpad, I've had very little issue. I'm sure there are some where they are not the ideal solution, but generally speaking, everything I've used, like the actual technology of the Steam Deck, just about everything they put into that thing feels good to use and play.
It's got motion controls. It's got the TMR analog sticks. That's instead of the potentiometers in there. That we mentioned before the break. It's got a magnetic charging according to their spec sheet here, which I think is pretty cool. This stuff seems neat.
The timing is really interesting.
Yeah.
Because we've heard all this talk from Microsoft about them, basically trying to get in more to the TV PC market, let's say next time, versus like just the straight up, like, here's your console.
Yeah, your hybrid.
And, I'm not saying that this will 100% undercut that, but if you are getting this out to market ahead of whatever Microsoft's next box is, you are kind of seeding at least the knowledge of like, oh, this is what a PC-like machine in my hooked up to my TV can be like. I don't know that if it does well, that might be a tougher road to hoe for Microsoft to be like, well, what if you bought ours after that one did well?
Yeah, I mean, it undercuts it in concept in the sense that it's doing the same thing. It's kind of
same idea,
the same concept. I think it's the horsepower is where there's going to be the huge difference, because just for at a glance, this thing is not even in the same ballpark as what a next generation console is going to do.
But for the people who are more like, let's just say, Switch aligned and maybe not as overly concerned with that, or maybe this sounds appealing.
I actually could see this maybe selling to people who really like the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And like that ecosystem and have all their games in that ecosystem and like want to be able to share their saves. Like, yes, you can dock a Steam Deck with a TV, but it's not very powerful for running games at TV resolutions. But this is going to be better for that. So like, I actually could see this maybe being a pretty good companion to a Steam Deck. If you want to play the same games on both and kind of go back and forth with saves syncing back and forth.
And, it's interesting also timing wise, and going back to what you said about an ecosystem similar to the Steam Deck, there was just this week, maybe end of last week, some chatter about Valve's monopoly control over the PC ecosystem, right? I don't know if you guys saw some talk about that stuff coming up.
I hope I don't have this wrong. Did I see there was like some survey results or something that like a lot of developers see Steam as a monopoly?
Yeah, I think that's where that was coming out of. And it's interesting to have that come out, where they're obviously on the software side. I would think, like the Steam Deck, there will probably be some kind of Steam machine verified now. Like, hey, this gets a check mark on your game if you are verified to run well on the Steam machine. Yeah, that's probably worth noting as far as the performance stuff goes, is that maybe developers start seeing this as a fixed target the way the Steam Deck is. So maybe games get some extra love or optimizations. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean
on here.
Right. When you control that major ecosystem, you can kind of push people to develop as like hey, can this run at 60 on my Steam machine, right? And be like, yeah. And maybe they even have presets on there for Steam machine will just load in the preset for your next game. I really I like that Steam controller. I thought it was well made. I don't have a Steam Deck, but I've been thinking about getting one. I'm curious to see Valve enter this in a kind of what seems like a pretty serious way for somebody who's handled hardware in a fairly not serious manner. It's almost like dalliances with hardware,
They've tried, they just never hit with anything. Like we said, they tried Steam machines before. They made the first controller. They've the Index, like I think the Index is a reasonably well respected headset, but like nothing has just ever caught on the way the Steam Deck did.
Yeah, they landed on something with that.
Like the Steam Deck must have given them an enormous amount of kind of internal confidence to try to rejuvenate a whole hardware ecosystem around that stuff.
Well, I think they're also, like you mentioned, Alex, maybe reading the tea leaves here, because they have the same information Microsoft has, that this hybrid console living room thing is probably where, things will go. And I don't know, I guess it remains to be seen, and maybe this is answered already by the time people are listening to this, what you can do in terms of the Steam machine for stuff that's outside of the Steam ecosystem natively, right? Like if it runs like the Steam Deck, or if it's a slightly more walled off area. But even if it is, I feel like Valve's thing has been like, once you buy this thing, do whatever the hell you want with it, right? Like,
yeah.
And even inside the ecosystem on Steam.
Yeah, I mean, talk about an already built-in, extremely deep library of games you can potentially put on this thing.
Yeah, clearly Microsoft wants you buying their games wherever.
Yeah.
Sony is bringing their games to PC and probably Steam, but the news we talked about last week was them maybe doing, possibly in the future, the cross-buy, with the PC and console version. Maybe they would launch their own store to compete with this. Maybe these are all rumors and speculations.
Now, would that run on here? Who can say?
Right. Who can say, right?
If this is Linux based and like maybe Sony only launches their store on Windows or something like that.
And so I think they've had not only great success, it seems like, with getting the Steam Deck hardware in people's hands. They've had, and again, this is just reading the room, equal success with getting their software to work well with the games, right? Because Steam Deck also runs Linux, right?
Yes, and Valve does a shit ton of work on stuff like Proton. Like they are very deeply involved in kind of upstream Linux software development to make games work right on Linux. Like that's not just other people doing the work that trickles down to the Steam Deck.
Right.
They do a ton of that or shepherd a ton of that themselves.
So what is the scene there? Is it pretty much like transparent in terms of if you there's a game on Steam, it'll work mostly aside from choking on hardware requirements on the Steam OS?
Pretty much. I mean, I don't have a Steam Deck. I don't keep up with that stuff super closely. Like, I don't know, maybe Alex can speak to this. I mean, you know, games get rated for compatibility on Steam with Steam Deck, you know,
yes,
and with Linux. Like they get there's the whole check mark thing, or I think isn't there an intermediate rating that's like, this is not outright broken, but we also can't guarantee that it works perfectly?
Yeah, there's a yellow setting, which is basically like, we think this will work well, but we have not been able to give it the stamp of guarantee that everything will work right.
And like my understanding is plenty of the yellow checked games still work pretty much just fine.
Yeah, like you mostly see it in like performance areas more than anything else.
Right. Or like maybe the on-screen keyboard doesn't work with the text fields in this game or something like that.
Text is too small a little bit, you know, et cetera.
Right.
So it does say in their press release or on their page here that they are expanding their deck verified to be Steam Machine verified and Steam Frame verified. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, their learn more, what you think would be a link, does not work. It's just flat text at this point. But again, we are just talking about this as it's kind of being posted. But I think this is really interesting. This is probably the more interesting hardware cycle stuff to me than what's been talked about with the PlayStation and with the Xbox in terms of rumors and where they're going. Because, you know, I play a lot of stuff on PC. I would buy one of these machines to put in a kid's room versus like a full-fledged massive PC. It's really going to come down to, can they get this thing? Can I get into a Steam machine for under $1,000? Can I get into a Steam machine for under $1,500? Like, where is this going to land?
If I had to guess, $1,000.
1,000? Like, how much was the Steam Deck?
I'd say the higher end one is probably 1,000 at least.
Yeah, with that extra storage and stuff, I could see it maybe being something like that. Maybe
I could
less.
see them coming in with the lighter model at something like $700 or $899.
So like the Steam Deck is $700. It's like $650, right? For the big one.
That's for like the super deluxe OLED one.
Yeah, and so this Steam machine won't have a screen, right? So
yeah, there's a thriving market of x86 like mini PCs in this kind of exact form factor.
Yeah,
or maybe a little smaller, and like those things actually
like
start
$500
or less, even. Like it depends on everything scales, of course, but like
that B-Link I just bought was $200.
Right, you can get. I mean, that's less powerful.
Is it underpowered?
Yeah, that's not
no graphics.
That's just integrated Intel graphics in that. But those things start at like $200-$300. So like maybe this actually won't be as much as you think. Like,
that's what I'm saying. So if they can come in under $1,000 with a pretty solid promise, not promise, but a pitch of, you'll be able to play most of your Steam games. Like you'll be able to compete performance wise in the arena of people with $2,000 graphics cards. Now, I know that's not necessarily true, but like I know plenty of people who play stuff on their Steam Deck and are perfectly happy with it, and are not people who are like, I don't care about graphics, who are just like, no, I'm just having a good time playing.
I think this is for that type of player for sure. Like this is absolutely not going to be like top tier performance, but probably going to be good enough for a lot of people.
Yeah, I would totally get one of these for the house, and see how it all goes. Now, I did notice the controller. No headphone jack. Now,
why would you need to listen to a controller? I mean, honestly.
So it's probably meant to pair up Bluetooth with the machine that you're on. But one of the weird things with the Steam Link, which maybe I'm one of the few people who still uses that.
Wait, you still use it?
So I use it when my son plays Helldivers. He Steam Links in. The Steam Link does will transmit voice audio using the Steam Link back to the computer. Moonlight and Sunshine do not do headset audio. So if you're on a remote like that, So I don't know. This hardware is interesting to me. I think it's cool that this stuff dropped. I think it's so funky looking too. Like it's different at least.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, this headset may be less interesting if the Steam frame comes in again also at a competitive price. Maybe, but I just don't know where we are with VR at this point to be jumping back into this market.
I certainly don't keep up with VR enough to look at these specs and give you anything about price. I will say, like, there is a very high-end VR market that you don't even know about. Like, I couldn't even tell you any of the names
medical
of the headsets. Not like that. It's gaming stuff, but it's like all the headset makers are companies I've never heard of. And they are like very nice high-end headsets, like way better than the PSVR 2, for example. So I don't know how this competes in that tier and what the pricing might be in that context.
I just VR in the gaming space seems to have dried up a bit or mostly. Yeah, so I wonder if this page, if I keep scrolling down, is it basically just going to have a little guy going, shh, it's for porn. You know, like, is that what we're doing right now?
Possibly.
Like, yeah.
Sure.
Like, you know, if you want this or not, it's okay.
Yep. I mean, it is ironic that this is coming out and we're having this conversation the same week that Lumines came out. Because, like,
oh, sure.
Oh, I forgot to mention during the Lumines discussion, when I plugged in the PSVR 2, I had to go through the entire onboarding and pairing process again because I got a PS5 Pro a year ago.
Oh.
And this is the first time I've plugged that headset in a year.
Really?
Like, just to tell you how little I use that headset.
That's funny.
So, like, for me, VR is basically every time Enhance puts out a new game,
sure,
I'm gonna get it out and play their game and enjoy it. In fact, actually, I'd forgotten that Res Infinite and Tetris Effect both got PS5 ports, so they work on the PSVR 2. So coming off of Lumines, I think it might be time for a replay of those because those are both super short. But like, there's not much else out there. Thrasher, I would kind of like to try in VR. But
sure,
there's not that much in VR at this point.
I mean, there's still all the other older great VR games
There's
out there.
Stuff out there. Yeah. And still like
to play Moss.
Deadpool is on the horizon. You could be playing Deadpool VR very soon.
Like to play Half-Life Alyx still, time permitting at some point, but the headset not super exciting for me.
Yeah, less out of all three of these things, the Steam Machine, the controller, and the headset. Yes, less exciting. I didn't realize the Steam Deck. It can just go right into a desktop, into Plasma, KDE Plasma at some point.
Yeah, there's like a desktop mode. It's got a desktop environment there waiting for you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. This is the Valve thing, for better and worse. They are incredibly laissez-faire about everything. So, in fact, this Steam Machine page flat out says, like, install another operating system on it.
Yeah.
Like, who are we to tell you how to use your computer is what it says.
Right. I saw that.
Like, that's just fucking like digital libertarian Valve at work again.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's pretty wild. Some of the specs on here for their PC, it's not a ton of storage space for their entry level.
It's 512 or 2 terabytes.
Yeah, those are the two options. And
a micro SD card slot.
It says expandable by micro SD. I'm not sure how that's going to work out.
I'm not sure what you would use that for. I don't think you want to load PC games off of that, but I don't know.
Yeah, they're NVMe SSDs, so I wonder if you could just get in there and swap out that 512 at some point to just drop in a new one. This is what the hands-on videos that people will be doing we'll probably get into. Also, look, maybe I'm a little snobbish now. It's got a gigabit Ethernet port on the back. I wouldn't mind 2.5 on there. I mean, sure. Valve is one of the storefronts that can usually deliver if you have a faster connection, and if you're transferring stuff or want to do any over the network stuff, it would be nicer if it had a 2.5, at least a 2.5 in there, if not 10 would be cool. Maybe there's an addition of that comes out if this is successful. But yeah, that's Valve's
they're going
broadside into hardware.
Yeah.
And we should just mention, in case you didn't catch it, you've probably heard by now if you're listening to this, but they're expecting the stuff in early 2026 is their posted date for these things. No, as of the time we're talking, no new Steam Deck announced. So no new Steam Deck 2 announced. It's the Steam controller, new one, a Steam Machine, and the Steam Frame, which is the VR self-contained goggles. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. See how this does.
It's a lot. I think I'd be in the market for this Steam machine for the family to play games on. So we'll see. Now they just need a rack mountable version. Give me a 1U, spread it all out, thin it out, squish it down.
Hey man, you can make that yourself. Build your own machine and just put Linux on it and install Proton yourself, and you're good.
Who's going to stop you?
I wish can you get SteamOS, a self-contained SteamOS?
Not as such. Like there is no official like hardware agnostic distribution of SteamOS. There are distros out there that like
mimic it
effectively. Like Hollow ISO and Bazite are probably the two you want to look at that are like the closest to it.
I remember trying to do
it's a complicated situation.
I tried to do a VM with SteamOS when it first came out, and it was definitely a thing that was like, this ain't no Steam Deck. Like you're not.
Yeah,
you can't fool me.
My perception is that most of the Valve specific tricks and like improvements are specific to the Steam Deck and now the Steam machine. Okay. The point being, if you're on other hardware, you don't really need SteamOS. As long as you've got all the stuff that makes the games run on a generic Linux install, like you don't really need SteamOS itself.
We'll see coming up. And again, we'll be finding out probably alongside you guys that are listening about what's going on here as people come back with hands-on previews and maybe more information. And hopefully they got like the Digital Foundry folks in there to really tear something up.
Yeah, they've got a video out I saw.
Oh, great. I'll have to go watch that. All right, that's breaking news. It's Valve's hardware blitz. Moving on to some delays here. A little game you may have heard of. It's called Grand Theft Auto 6. It's never coming out.
Nope.
It's everybody.
We settled that.
Everybody got out of the way of Grand Theft Auto. It was coming out in May.
It's
Brad
getting some months of polish now.
Now it's getting another delay to November. That's the story, pretty much.
I should say it was coming out in May 2026.
Yeah.
But
that is the next May that is coming up. So
what was it? It was originally this year, right?
Yeah, it was originally this year.
Yeah.
Like September, I think.
Yeah. So now it is pushed out to November. The end.
Yeah. I feel nothing about this, to be honest with you, other than thinking it's just very funny they have to keep doing this.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep committing to dates if they're going to keep doing this.
Investors.
Yeah, I guess, sure. I guess so.
It's 100% to try and keep investors at bay.
Yeah, fair. I guess they do start feeling some pressure from, I mean, like in my mind, it's like this thing is going to make literal billions of dollars.
But they wanted to do it now.
But you're right. Investors, I'm sure probably there is pressure mounting to get it out sooner than later.
So yeah, they've delayed, but also we talked, I think it was last week, about the layoffs that happened at Rockstar and the
firings, basically.
Yeah, the Independent Workers Union of Great Britain basically saying that this is union busting and this is without cause, and now Rockstar is saying, I think initially they had said gross misconduct, and the union was like, that's BS. And now Rockstar is saying they shared confidential information.
Brad?
Distributing,
I mean, that's it. Distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum, a violation of our company policies, is what the statement says.
Note that they do not specify it is game information that they were sharing. I think that is a conspicuous absence from that statement.
Yeah, and I think maybe this might have happened this morning. I think there's been some pushback from people involved, right?
Yeah, I thought I saw that there was a little bit of someone had talked to at least one representative from that group. They were not. I don't know that they got very heavily on record about the specificity of what it was they were supposedly being terminated over, but they are still calling this union busting and saying that this is very much they were targeting them for organizing.
Yeah.
Their quotes, which maybe almost sounds more damning than defensive. The quote from Rockstar says, "Last week, we took action against a small number of individuals who were found to be distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum, a violation of our company policies. This was in no way related to people's right to join a union or engage in union activities. And again, like Alex said, they do not go on to have any specifics about what kind of confidential information that could be, because that could be anything about the hours they work or about you know compensation packages. Or
I have to imagine it's something related to employment, and that there is probably something in their employment contracts that says you cannot tell other employees about this.
Doesn't say that here, and it hasn't been verified.
That's a guess entirely on my part.
There was an anonymous forum post going around in the last week purporting to be, as far as I could tell, from one of the people pushed out of their job in this situation. But I think it was this person has verified their identity with a forum moderator, but you never know. Exactly
it could be not right.
But I got the sense from that post that like the public forum in question here might have been a Discord server, which I guess technically you could argue that's a public forum. That
it's an unmanaged forum that is outside of the network of Rockstar, so that probably counts.
Yeah, right. But if it's an invite-only server, that is explicitly not a public forum, but I don't know.
I think if I had to guess in legal terms, like anything that is not part of the Rockstar network and under their corporate purview counts as a public forum.
Yeah, you're probably right. I actually just saw, it looks like I think this is... Since we start, another thing that happened since we started recording, it looks like legal action is now being taken on the part of those employees.
Okay.
That's what it seemed to be trending toward anyway. I mean, there's been protests outside at Rockstar headquarters since this happened.
Yeah, the union, looking at gamesindustry.biz, union files formal legal claims against Rockstar amid union busting accusations. That's from 2 hours ago.
The only thing I will say about all of this is that I think the people who are rushing to the conclusion that somehow this delay and this these firings have anything to do with each other, that's wishful conspiratorial thinking.
Yes.
Those two things are not in any way related.
Extremely. I mean, what was it, 30 to 40 people, something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking
Which is not to say that would not have an impact on the team, but that is not why they are delaying that game.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a game that has thousands of people working on it.
Yeah.
And decisions that are getting made about its future, way, way, way above that level of employment.
Oh, Rockstar, Take-Two.
What a mess. Everything's a mess.
In the Video Games Chronicle story that you had linked, Brad, it does end with another union shopped game, another IWGB game, which I thought was funny. Them suing over Mind's Eyes botched rollout to market, which not related to this story necessarily, but
disastrous handling of redundancies is what it says here. Because the UK has much more specific guidelines about how you can lay people off.
Yep. The quote here, though, that a dark chuckle. These layoffs happen because you repeatedly refuse to listen to your workforce's years of experience, resulting in one of the worst video game launches this decade.
Rough.
They're not wrong.
Which is just rough.
I mean, there have been some doozies this last decade, but I would say you at least have to put Mind's Eye in the conversation.
That is a memorable launch for many reasons. Okay. Unfortunately, not getting necessarily into spectacularly great news here, but not terrible news. But there is another delay. Brad, Marvel 1943, I think a game I haven't heard about in about a year and a half.
Eyes of Hydra, yeah. This is the Amy Hennig game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right. Also delayed to an unspecified time. That was supposed to be early next year, early 2026. Has now been delayed out of that window, but without any kind of new makeup date. So
it seems like they're just chugging along.
Yeah. There's no smoke there as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
To fully realize our vision, is the language.
I think it's this doesn't really need a lot of commentary, but I'll add it. I think it's that's right. It's a really tumultuous time for these big funded AAA games to find what your audience is going to be and try to penetrate, and B, what the hell gameplay type people want, right? I think you're probably making these games to have some kind of engagement loop that goes beyond the $70 purchase and done. You're probably feeding something else in there, and to find out what the hell people want and are going to be willing to give up the money for is probably pretty tough.
Yeah, and I'd also say, just specifically more Marvel-oriented stuff, the biggest Marvel hits right now, video game-wise, are Marvel Snap, a collectible card game, and Marvel Rivals, which is Overwatch.
There's a lot of fatigue out there, not only in your IP, but in game types,
Yeah. And again, I'm not saying a big Marvel game can't be successful, but like the ones running up to those other games had been kind of faltering for a while there. Like we all loved Guardians, but it did not sell. That Avengers game did not do well. Spider-Man kind of lives in its own little bubble, and we'll see if that can be repeated with Wolverine. But you know, it's hit or miss.
I don't know how I'm feeling about Wolverine. Like the Spider-Man hook of the swinging is so fucking strong. Like, I think you could argue those games live and die by that.
I mean,
I don't know that Wolverine's going to have an equivalent.
Look,
there's a certain appeal to being a human buzzsaw,
and also being to like just if they do something cool that is novel with the healing factor, that could be fun. You know, if it's not just a recharging health bar, because I think that's kind of a boring implementation. But if they do something cool where you're able to like run up to a guy, get impaled by a sword, and run him into a wall or something.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The traversal in the Spider-Man games is so goddamn good. Like, I never get tired of doing it. Like, I just don't.
Well, may I remind you, video game Wolverine will basically be like a video game ninja with those claws. He'll be doing ceiling. Yeah, he'll be digging. He'll be climbing walls. He'll be digging those things into ceilings. And
when they showed that footage, like, I don't know, it was like a month or two ago. And it was just like, hey, by the way, do you want some MK level gore in here on top of this? It's not that I'm surprised by it, because I mean, look, Wolverine's a pretty violent character in the comics. Some of the edges are sanded off in the movies. Man, I was like just not prepared for that. Yep. And I'm like, I kind of love it. I embrace that they're like, okay, yeah, we made the really, plucky Spider-Man games. Here's fucking Wolverine tearing a guy's face off with his claws.
That is also a little jarring, sure. Coming from like the Spider-Man games also are like you said, like they're kind of like light, breezy, a little corny.
They're young adult fiction, right. And I don't mean that derisively. I just mean like they are aiming at a younger audience. Yeah, like this might be the only time I ever utter this in my life. Those are like young adult laudatory, Like I kind of enjoy the lighthearted vibe of those games. It's just like, oh, these are like just chill and fun and uplifting, and like I'm maybe not going to think about it a ton after it's over, but like it's just pleasant. Mm-hmm. And yes, like Wolverine cutting everybody to ribbons is kind of not that. But, I'm glad they're at least going for a tonal difference, because you can't do plucky Wolverine. No, that's just not possible. Well, it would be funny if you tried, though.
And, like, I'm glad not everybody's a robot, right? I mean, look, there's a lot of cybernetics in there, but, like, it's not,
it's not just him slashing up sentinels,
Right.
This at least has an interesting angle, It's like it's a period piece, right? It's like set
Marvel,
World War II. Yeah,
honestly, this is the one I was most looking forward to besides Wolverine. Like, the Blade game also sounded very appealing to me, but like I was really interested in what they were going to do with this particular era of Marvel history, because they touch on it in that first Captain America movie, but they mostly kind of moved on from a lot of the Hydra stuff in modern Marvel.
My commentary to add to this is that, boy, has my perception of Skydance changed since the last time I thought about this game.
Yeah, David Ellison has really done a lot of work to change that perception.
Like, in fact, I was so not clear what Skydance was at that. I kept thinking this was Skybound, the Robert Kirkman thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I get those mixed up a lot, but that will not be the case any longer.
It's one big multi-national conglomerate world out there. And Wolverine's and Marvel's 1943 is here to save us. Wolverine is 2026, right? Early 2026?
Yes. I don't know if they put a date on it.
I don't think they've said a range yet.
Well, Marvel, like we said, this story, Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra. That's the, again, the kind of World War II Marvel one. All right. That's going to do it for that. And that's going to do it for the news.
All right.
Email. We got one email.
Yeah, I flagged a bunch.
Email me.
Email me, yeah.
It's been a lot of podcasts.
It is. This is a chunky one.
I need to decide what I flagged like 6 from earlier, but which one's it going to be? Pizza or New York?
Is there a difference?
Arguably not. Can you eat New York?
Yes.
Give me pizza.
This one is actionable. This is a public service for someone who wrote in that you guys can help address.
Okay.
Carnage from Melbourne.
Okay.
Family and I are traveling to New York via London from Melbourne for 8 days leading up to New Year's, and wanted to manage my expectations on what New York will be like during this period. Is it a crazy time for tourism? Is it going to be extremely cold?
Yes.
we're booked down the financial district and are planning some day trips, but really don't know what to expect.
And what's the time period exactly?
Lead up to New Year's?
Yeah, so like roughly
damn.
over Christmas and New Year's.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're in for it.
Well, yeah, definitely cold. It may not be like freezing, snowing, but it will be cold.
Chilly, yeah.
And
weather's been bananas, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But it is a tourist time. I wouldn't say it is necessarily like the most crowded tourist time in New York, but there will be a lot of people around, especially in commercial centers.
What would you say is, if it's not that, what is the most tourist? Like New Year's and Christmas, like Rockefeller Center, New Year's.
Yeah,
these are
I'd say that's
very
number
crowded.
2. It's number 2, but I think during the summer it's more people because people have more time off in the summer.
That's a good point.
People are also less likely to travel to a cold climate during winter, generally speaking.
Yeah, maybe you get fewer internationals in the summer and in the winter, and more surrounding local people for the New Year's. But New Year's it's going to be packed.
If you're in Times Square especially or anywhere surrounding areas, it will be packed.
It'll be packed. Yeah. Midtown is going to be crowded no matter what.
But
Financial district might not be too bad.
But also, you're there as a tourist. You're not driving, I assume. You were probably taking the train or the buses everywhere. That's fine. You will get around just fine. Just be prepared to deal with a lot of people on those subway stations.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
So, and actually, I would say during the holiday crush there, Financial district is probably the place to be because those places are all closed down. Like
it's a dead zone down there.
Yeah, so you'll have a good reprieve.
Nothing can live down there.
That's right. They've eaten all the crypto.
It's too deep down there. All the oxygen just doesn't get there.
That's probably the better place to be, as some of those places will be a little bit lighter because they'll probably be on some kind of holiday break.
Yeah, and on top of that, also, if you have any designs on going into Queens or into Brooklyn, that's actually probably a great time to do it because most people are coming from there into the city to do holiday-related things.
That's true. It's true. Which you should do.
Yeah. There's tons of great food out there.
Yeah. You know what? Go visit all the boroughs, even Staten Island.
Yeah, just get on the ferry.
And then turn around and come back.
Take it to Staten Island.
Touch it.
Look at it. Then get back on the ferry, go back to where you came from.
Get a slice of pizza, then come back. Get a slice of pizza.
No, you don't want
slice
that
of pizza
Staten Island
from
pizza. You don't want that. It's been stepped on.
How about the McDonald's pizza?
You don't get that.
It's real,
they don't have those at Staten Island.
Since we've said pizza twice, I feel like I need to read the pizza email now that I brought it up. Really quick from Aaron M. I live in Orlando and went to the Pizza McDonald's.
Oh, wow.
I went specifically for the pizza, but they had other items on the menu. There was a build-your-own pasta on the menu as well.
What?
And also a Philly cheesesteak. I ordered the pizza. It was perfectly cromulent.
Nice.
I was surprised to see they cooked all the pasta to order and used an actual brick oven for the pizza. He put a photo of that kitchen in here. It is the nicest McDonald's kitchen I've ever seen.
I feel like this McDonald's has gone out of pocket. They've gone rogue.
It has become untethered from space and time of our normal universe.
That McDonald's in particular is gigantic with a massive play place and arcade inside and is 2 stories tall. It's close enough to the theme parks and other tourist area where it attracts international tourists a lot. That must be why.
Got it.
So that's why it's allowed to exist free of all the other ones is because it provides special financial benefit.
It's a good earner.
It's a good earner. It's a destination McDonald's.
I love how this email just casually ends. I was also in Japan last week and got some of those Street Fighter burgers. Pretty interesting flavor profile on those.
Man,
this guy's like the Anthony Bourdain of fast food.
I love it.
Interesting flavor profile is not what I want to hear when I'm eating a hamburger.
No, that sounds like it was terrible.
Yeah, that sounds like you are really stretching to say something nice here.
Yeah. How's your new girlfriend? You know, they're okay. They have an interesting personality, right? That is the interesting flavor profile of humans. Interesting personality. Oh, so you hate them. Yeah.
That does say pretty good. So they were pretty good, interesting flavor profile.
Okay.
That's going to do it for the show. Email address, by the way, if you want to send in your emails, is podcast@nextlander.com. Podcast@nextlander.com. Do you have a fancy McDonald's near you that you've gone to? Do you have a fancy fast food place near you that everybody? Do you have a destination fast food chain near you? Is what I want to know.
Do you have a weird fast food restaurant, one that seems to have come unstuck from the more rigid tendencies their others? You have a Tom Bombadil of fast food restaurant, something that is uncaring for your standard quick service concerns.
Does your Johnny Rockets have a brick oven in it, or does your Burger
Do you have
King
an A&W that serves tacos for some reason? Please tell me.
That's going to do it for the show. Again, podcast at nextlander.com for the email. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks for joining us on our Death Stranding 2 journey. If you skipped over the Death Stranding stuff, I'm not going to blame you, but I am going to say we did talk about maybe showing some of the Death Stranding 2 footage to have Alex join in with us to look at it on Friday. If you have an opinion about that, you can voice it over on our Discord, or you can do it wherever you're talking about Nextlander. I'm sure we'll see it somewhere. We're curious what the appetite for that stuff is. I kind of want to do it, but I don't know if people are interested. I'm just kind of curious out there.
I didn't expect to talk so thoroughly through everything when we came in here today, but
yeah. So the plan was, we were thinking about this for this week. Maybe we go through and look for people who aren't going to play it, or for people who want to talk about it while we do it. Basically a stream where we look at some of the end cutscenes from Death Stranding 2. But anyway,
do a few highlights, and then maybe I could go get that level 3 stabilizer and go jump off some cliffs.
Oh dang! I like that. I like that idea. So again, you let us know if that's of interest to you or not. This week we had the Watchcast continue with our action movie month. Possible turkeys.
Extremely dumb action movie month.
Pretty dumb.
Let's put the extra bit on there.
With the really piece de resistance of extremely dumb action movies, Doomsday.
Yep.
Just a really dumb action movie.
Yes, it is.
And that was a fun rewatch also, though you can hear some of our thoughts about how some of the film techniques of the mid-2000s have held up.
Yeah. We'll talk about the early 2000s again as we have Jet Li's The One up next.
It's true. I'll watch that tonight. We've got on Monday, Will joined us for more ARC rating. On Tuesday, Abby joined us for more Silent Hill F. And like I said, we'll be back on Friday with another stream, TBD.
However, the Friday stream following is not TBD.
No, it has been deed.
Because we are indeed coming back for Extra Life, and the Drum Marathon is returning for Extra Life on Friday, November 21st. We are part of the Giant Bomb team, and we'll be aiming to raise funds for Extra Life via drum kit.
Via cloning of the heroes.
The best possible use for a drum kit.
Absolutely. And I will write up a post on the Patreon this week, letting you know date and time and everything you can expect from that, so people will know what's up.
I don't know if I should say this out loud. Are you taking song requests from the public?
I am not. I'm only taking them from my closest, most personal friends.
Okay, fair.
And the target is 12 hours, right?
12 hours is what I hope my body will hold up for.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is next, not this coming Friday.
The
Friday
21st.
After. More details to be coming soon, start times and all that.
Yeah.
And where you can donate and the rest of that. And I'll be joining Alex at his place for that. And Brad, hopefully you can join us as well virtually for some of that stream. So that's not this Friday, the next Friday. But that's going to do it for our show this week. If you want to catch any of our other stuff, Ramblecast, you got the Watchcast, you got the Planorama, Never Been a Better Podcast. All of that stuff is over on the Patreon, patreon.com/Nextlander. You can go there, support us bringing friends on over here. And you can find a tier that is right for you. Now, that is the best way to support us. I don't know if you guys know that. I probably have mentioned it once or twice before, but it is the best way to add your support. So if you've been thinking about it, why don't you go over there and go check it out. Find a tier that's right for you. You might be interested in the Mysterious Benefactor tier, and they get their names read on this here show, starting with Sean Miller, Sending Good Vibes on the Internet, RRE. Alpha Rhythm, Infelicitous Rips, David L., Kelly F., Brian Lucier, Skywarp, Jason Grimm, John Hubbard, NXL Retirement Fund, Evan Cook, Jerry Lee, the Deidre that killed 124 other Deidres in cool slow motion. That's a reference to the Watchcast, I'm going to assume.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Fisher, Bunny Crimes, Jad Rita, Statics, Brian Murphy, Randy Duax, Randy Alderson, Andrew Tiebkin, Alex Wu, It's Me JP, Edward Chick, Andrew Slosky, Steve Lynn, Matthew Herrig, David Campos, and Tyler Treese. Now again, thank you to our mysterious benefactors, and thanks to everyone who has gone over to patreon.com/Nextlander to support us. We are your independently artisanally run. We run this like an artisanal cheese shop here. Video game shop? We're not news shop. Coverage? Movie? Talking? I don't know.
How about content?
Content shop?
Content!
Get your fresh content. And every time I think about something that we've done, I now think about it in terms of it's really like 20 plus years at this point.
Uh-huh.
And that's amazing. And we couldn't do it without you. We hope that you've been along for a lot of the ride with us. We hope you appreciate what we're doing. We know you have a lot of choices out there when you fly video game content, and we're happy you've come and joined us here. So
we like to think we're the McDonald's pizza of internet video game outfits.
Sure.
You have to seek us out, but when you do, you're not disappointed.
A unique experience.
Interesting flavor profile.
Something you tell your friends about.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for supporting us. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back. And again, I just want to hit it one more time. Extra Life next Friday. Friday after this one. So get prepared for that. Thank you very much, Alex Navarro.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad Shoemaker.
Thank you.
And we'll be back next week.